Live here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. The UNLV Hustlin' Rebels take on the Milwaukee Panthers. Hello everyone, Wyatt Tomczyk on the call. Thank you for joining us here on your Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning here in Las Vegas, as this game has been bumped up an hour. They call it Getaway Day. It is definitely a getaway day for Milwaukee. We have a time constraint. This game has to end by at least 2 o'clock because Milwaukee needs to get on a flight back home. So it's going to be a fun one here. Rubber match between the Rebels and the Panthers. UNLV coming into this ball game 25-21 on the year, while the Panthers, they're 16-28, 10-8 out of the Horizon League for UNLV. Out of the Mountain West for the Rebels, they are 7-11. UNLV took the first game 14-4 in 8 innings. UNLV had a 7th spot in the bottom of the 8th. The Rebels offense was lights out, as they've been throughout the entirety of this 2026 season. 14 runs off of 13 hits, 1 error. For the Panthers, they were held to just 4 runs off of 4 hits and 1 error. But the Panthers got back going on the mound as they won yesterday's game 4-1. UNLV struck first in the bottom of the first, but the Panthers scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and then got 2 very key insurance runs in the top of the 8th. They held that red-hot UNLV hitting team to just 6 hits and 1 run scored. The Panthers had 4 runs off of 9 hits and 1 error. Josh Donegan is the starting pitcher today for UNLV. The righty, the junior, looking for a confidence-boosting start, as he has the ERA at 9.82 ERA, the whip at 1.91, 0-1 is his record. 14 2/3 innings of work, 25 hits, given up 16 runs, 16 of them have been earned. 3 walks to 10 strikeouts. UNLV will be donning the black top, white bottoms, all gray uniforms for the Panthers, who have made the trip out from what I like to call my second home, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Most of my family on my dad's side hailing from the great state of Wisconsin. It's the 2nd season in a row that the Panthers have made the trip down to Las Vegas. Last year, they played a 4-game series, and UNLV swept that series against the Panthers. It is a picture-perfect day here in Las Vegas. We've had just great weather over the last handful of days. Can't ask for a better start. It is 83 degrees as Donegan is set, and the first pitch here on this Sunday morning is going to be high and off the glove for a ball. 1-0 is the count. As we mentioned, the Rebels are 25-21 on the year. Stan Stolte, the head coach for UNLV. Up to bat here is Grant Ross, the third baseman, senior, 259 average, as the next pitch is going to hit high for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Ross with a 259 average, 38 hits in 147 plate appearances, 36 runs scored. He has 7 doubles, 3 home runs, and 15 RBIs, 13 for 16 on stolen base opportunities. The Panthers very aggressive when they get on the base pass, as that one is swung on and foul tipped into the mitt. Count is 1-2. For Ross this weekend against UNLV, he's 1 for 7 with 2 walks. It's the Panthers team average at 265. Making the trip down to Las Vegas. The Panthers have been playing good baseball as of lately, and they're going to send this one into left field for a base hit. So Ross is able to get on the base pass with a leadoff single past the left-hand side over at third and short. And the Panthers look to threaten here in the top of the first inning.
Right field, number 22, Charlie Marion.
Charlie Marion will be up to bat, the senior, 271 average on the year, 39 hits and 144 plate appearances. He has 10 doubles, 6 home runs, and 33 RBIs. Now remember, Ross over at first, 13 for 16 on stolen base opportunities. For the Panthers, they're 98 out of 118 on stolen base opportunities this year. They're very, very active. Donegan's going to have to be aware of that, as the first pitch here is swung on and sent fair down the right field line. Ross has the great speed. He will go to third as the ball bounces off the wall. They're going to give Ross the green light as Marion will head to third. The throw will come into the infield, and it's going to be a RBI triple for Charlie Marion, his 34th RBI on his first triple of the year, as that got past the first baseman Rodriguez. And quickly, early on, the Panthers have struck first, 1-0 to score a single and a triple, as the Panthers look to take this series against UNLV. Now bring up Dylan O'Connell, the junior, 353 average on the year, 53 hits and 150 plate appearances, 13 doubles, 1 triple, 8 home runs, and 31 RBIs. And also, he is just, I mean, the stolen base numbers that he has had this year, I had to double check that one, 34 out of 36 A lot of speed in this lineup for the Panthers. As the first pitch here by Donegan is going to be on the inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. So quickly the Panthers are able to strike first. A single by Grant, and then Marion is able to get it down the right field line. As the next pitch misses for a ball, 2-0 is the count. Defensive alignment for UNLV. Jaden Hurdle is out in left field. Center field is Reggie Bussey. Nin Burns the second is over in right field. Over at third, Gunnar Myro. Drew Berrigan is over at short. Marcos Rosales is over at second. Johnny Rodriguez is at first, as that one is in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count. And Connor Talixon is behind the plate. That is the defensive alignment for UNLV. Head coach Stan Stolte. Rebels who are looking to get some momentum before they head to the final two series in conference play. The top 6 teams make it in the conference tournament, as that one is in there for a strike. 2-2 is the count. For Donegan, the last time we saw him on the mound was back on April 26th against UNR. He went 4 innings of work, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, gave up 4 doubles and a home run. Did pick up the loss, as this one sent high up into the air into left center field. This ball is well hit and will do the job, as coming on in from third is Marion, and it's going to be a sacrifice fly here for the Panthers. As Bussey going to his right is able to clamp it down. No real chance for a throw, so it's 2-0 on the sacrifice fly there by O'Connell. As Marion scores, and the bases will be cleared here with 1 out, but the Panthers 2 early runs for O'Connell. That RBI was his 32nd. O'Connell coming into today 0 for 6, but now has 2 RBIs and a walk. As Dominic Kibler will be up to bat. First pitch on the off speed is in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. The designated hitter for the Panthers, the junior, hitting .315 on the year, 46 hits and 146 plate appearances, 11 doubles, 6 home runs, and 42 RBIs. He is also a threat on the base paths, 10 for 13 on stolen base opportunities this year. Next pitch there by Donegan misses on the outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. After this series here wraps up with Milwaukee, UNLV will welcome in BYU for 1 game on Tuesday, 6:05 here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium as the 1-1 pitch. This one's going to be ripped to right field, and it's going to land for a base hit. The 3rd hit of the inning here for the Panthers, as Kibler is able to rope that one into right field, as he picks up his 47th hit of the season and his 2nd hit of the series. Now 2 for 6 with 2 walks and an RBI. Joey Spence will be up to bat, the senior, getting the start today behind the plate. .218 average, 29 hits and 133 plate appearances, 15 runs scored, 7 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, and 18 RBIs for Spence. So 3 of the first 4 hitters reach base here for the Panthers, as this one is fouled back out of play. Milwaukee came into this ball game getting about 6 runs per game and about just under 9 hits per game. So UNLV has been able to hold them below their average. The Rebels offense picked it up on Friday, winning 14-4, but yesterday UNLV held to just 1 run through 9 innings. 0-1 is the count. Donegan is set, and we'll get the swing and a miss there. Count goes to 0-2. For Spence, the senior from West Bend, Wisconsin, standing 5'10", 2 for 7 this weekend with 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. 9 games this season, and he has had a multi-hit performance. Kibler over at first. Throw back over by Donegan. Kibler is able to get back in time. Dominic over at first. 10 for 13 on stolen base opportunities, so got to be wary. I mean, feels like everybody in this lineup for Milwaukee is a big threat on the base paths. The only one who hasn't attempted a stolen base is Bozak, who is in the lineup. 0-2, swung on a miss, strike 3. And well, there was a little bit of a pause there by Spence. Now the on-plate umpire says, yep, that's strike 3. So it's the first strikeout of the ball game here by Donegan. And that strikeout is brought to you by Belfour Property Restorations.
Next up, second baseman, Connor Bozak.
Connor Bozak will be up to bat. Bozak, .350 average. This will just be his 21st plate appearance of the year, 7 for 20. And this is the 5th game that he has started. 2 doubles, a home run, and 2 RBIs. As Donegan is set, throw back over to first. Kibler is able to get back in time. For UNLV, in the bottom of the first, it will be Reggie Bussey, Marcos Rosales, and Drew Berrigan, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Yeah, Bozak due up. Hadley is on deck if this inning will stay alive. And you got Holmes batting 8th. There's a good stop behind the plate there by Talixon. And Palakowski is in the number 9 spot. John Wegner, the head coach for Milwaukee, 59 and 99 in his 3rd season. Out of the Horizon League. They're currently sitting 2nd right now in that standings, as the off-speed pitch there by Donegan is able to drop in for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Two outs here in the top of the first. If you're just joining us, a single, a triple, and a sacrifice fly. That is the scoring. There's another throw back over to first, but not in time. As the Panthers strike first. They did that in the Friday game. Scored the first run in the top of the 3rd, but the UNLV quickly was able to answer back with 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, and the Rebels were able to hold on to that 14-4. Runner going. Throw, nope, it's going to be dropped there by Talixon. It was a strike. Nice pitch there by Donegan, but Kibler is able to steal second. That'll be his 11th stolen base on 14 opportunities. It looked like if Talixon was able to get the transfer cleanly, that would have been a close play at second. So now runner in scoring position, the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to miss high and outside. 2-2 is the count. I mentioned John Hadley due up next here for the Panthers. Played against UNLV last season. Were swept in 4 games. There's a throwback over to second. And not in time. Almost got Dominic Knappin out there at second base. 2-2 is the count. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. UNLV will have to play from behind. Riley Peterson is the starting pitcher today here for the Panthers. As he's been given a 2-run cushion before he has to throw a pitch. Might be a 3-run cushion. That one's going to land for a base hit. Kibler will get the wave home. The throw from center field's going to be cut off, and the Rebels have given up 3 runs here in the top of the first inning. Bozak is able to win the battle. And for the senior, that is going to be RBI number 3 on the 2026 campaign. So the stolen base works out to the Panthers' advantage. So John Hadley will be up to bat, the sophomore from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. So Josh Donegan having a little bit of trouble here. Now the ERA has ballooned up to 11.15, whip at 2.09. Just unable to kind of find the rhythm here to start out the ball game. 3 runs in the top of the first inning as this one sent high up in the under center field, but should be easy there for Bussey, and he's able to clamp it down for out number 3. But 3 runs here for the Panthers in the top of the first. UNLV coming up in the bottom of the first. It'll be Reggie Bussey, Marcos Rosales, and Drew Berrigan to lead it off for the Rebels here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics.
Food and beverage. center fielder, number 25, Reggie.
Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My Tom Jack on the call, filling in for Matt and Drew Neverett, who will be back on Tuesday for UNLV's game against BYU. That'll be a full production on the Mountain West Network, as we are broadcasting live from the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics, as the first pitch here in the bottom of the first is going to be taken high for a ball. 1-0 is the count. The Panthers are on top of UNLV 3-0. Reggie Bussey will lead it off here for the Rebels, the senior. 274 average, 31 hits, and 113 plate appearances. And now ahead of the count, 2-0. 6 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 14 RBIs for Bussey, who was 1 for 7 in this series against the Panthers with a walk. It is Riley Peterson, the lefty, will get the start today here for the Panthers, and he's got a 3-run cushion as Bussey sends this one high and deep to left field. It is well hit, but not well enough into foul territory, and unable to come up with the catch is Palakowski, who had to travel a long way down the left field line, and it just was out of his reach. So Bussey will stay alive with the count 2-1. To finish out the stat line here for Peterson, the junior, 8.66 ERA, the whip at 1.63. 3-4 is his record. 44 2/3 of work so far this season. 55 hits, given up 46 runs. 43 of them have been earned. 18 walks to 53 strikeouts. So he's got the strikeout stuff, but he has given up 11 extra base hits. Just 1 home run, as this one is going to be taken high for a ball. 3-1 is the count. Last time Peterson was out was back on April 26th against Wright State. He went 4 2/3, gave up 9 hits, 9 runs, 7 of them were earned, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, picked up the loss. Back-to-back appearances for him, as Bussey will take this one down low, ball 4. So it's a 5-pitch walk for Peterson. Just the 19th walk that he has given up in 44 innings of work for Bussey. That is the 18th time that he has drawn the free pass. So UNLV trying to mount the comeback here. Great start. Get your leadoff batter on the base pass, as Marcos Rosales will be up to bat. The junior with a 328 average, 57 hits and 174 plate appearances. He has 60 runs on the year, 18 doubles, 1 triple, 9 home runs, and 40 RBIs. UNLV not quite as active as this Panthers team, as Rosales is going to send this. Whoa, what a catch over at second base. Goodness gracious, takes away, at worst, a single. Bozak going to his right, my oh my, robs Rosales of a base hit. And that is a very loud out, number 1.
Number 5, Berrigan.
Drew Berrigan will be up to bat, the senior, 392 average on the year, 69 hits and 176 plate appearances. He has scored 54 runs on the year, 13 doubles, 6 triples, 9 home runs, and 47 RBIs for the starting shortstop today here for UNLV. Peterson is set, and a big swing and a miss. Foul tip caught. 0-1 is the count for Berrigan on the year with runners on. 4.02 for Peterson. The lefty, as we mentioned, an 8.60 ERA. Gets helped out with the defense there by Bozak. What a heck of a play there to take away a potential base hit, as that one is going to be dropped in on the off speed for a strike. 0-2 is the count. In Burns the second, due up next here for the Rebels, barring a double play. Stan Stolte, the head coach for UNLV in his 11th season, 273 and 267. Peterson trying to get the strikeout pitch, but too high. 1-2 is the count. For UNLV, they are 30 for 42 on stolen base opportunities this year. Bussey standing over at first. He's 4 for 6. Peterson is set, gets his side. And the 1-2. Down low, 2-2 is the count. For Berrigan this weekend, the senior from California, he is 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Peterson set yet again, the 2-2, and swung on and foul back. Drew in the win against Milwaukee on Friday. UNLV won that game 14-4. He was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Did not play yesterday. So Rebels down 3-0. There's a 2-2 pitch. This one swung on and fouled out of play. So the defensive alignment here for the Panthers, you heard Palakowski is over in left field. O'Connell out in center field. Marion is over in right field. Grant at third. Holmes at short. Bozak, who made that great play, is over at second. Hadley over at first. And Spence is behind the plate here for the Panthers. As the count is 2-2, 1 out. The pitch is a chopper over to third. It's picked up in fair territory. Nope, foul ball. Just foul before Ross can pick it up. So Berrigan will do this one all over again. That'll be between him and Riley Peterson. And as mentioned for UNLV, they'll have one more home game versus a non-conference foe, BYU, on May 5th. And then the Rebels will be on the road taking on Fresno State. And then at home to finish out the regular season against San Diego State, a series that UNLV needs to win both of them. As this one, throw back over to first, but Bussey not too far off the bag. UNLV 7-11 in conference play. They're 16-11 at home this year. 7-9 on the road, 2-1 in neutral games. Peterson set the 2-2. This one's fouled back in the netting yet again. This game got bumped up an hour. Scheduled start time was 12:05, but Milwaukee with their travel. No inning will start after 2:30, so we have a kind of a set time limit for the Panthers before they have to fly back home. As Peterson is set. This long battle continues. The 2-2, and it's going to be ripped into the gap into left center field for a base hit. Bussey will take the turn and will head to third. Berrigan will put the brakes on and go back over to first. And the Rebels threatening here in the bottom of the first. They have now runners at the corners with 1 out for Nin Burns the second.
Next up, the Rebel right fielder, number 21, Nin Burns the second.
So Burns up to bat. He's had a great season, 329 average, 52 hits and 158 plate appearances, 13 doubles, 3 triples, 5 home runs, and 42 RBIs. So Berrigan is able to win that battle for his 70th hit of the year. That leads this UNLV lineup. We talked about it for the Rebels. They've been a red-hot offense, getting just under 9 runs a game and 11 hits per game. As the first pitch here by Peterson, almost fell off the mound as that one misses outside for a ball, 1-0 is the count. For Burns, on the year with runners on, 379, and when they're with runners in scoring position, up to 433, well above his 329 average. As they'll take the next pitch outside for a ball, 2-0 is the count. Favorable hitters count here to the senior from California, who is 4 for 9 this weekend with 2 RBIs. 14 games. He's had a multi-hit performances. Now time will be called here as we have our first mound visit of the day. This one courtesy of the Panthers of Milwaukee. But for Burns, who has had the average consistently above 300 since the March 14th game against Air Force. In his first season for the Rebels. Try to get UNLV on the board. If you're just joining us, Milwaukee scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning. It was a single, triple, and a sacrifice fly, and then they were able to use their aggressiveness on the base paths to set up a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and got a clutch 2-out hit. UNLV with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, and that 1 out was courtesy of a great play by Bozak, who was able to take away a potential base hit. So the count is 2-0 after the mound visit. Peterson a little bit of trouble. Remember, the last 2 outings for him have not gone the way that he would like. Bussey at third, Berrigan at first. This one down low, good stop behind the plate by Spence. And now the count is 3-0. Johnny Rodriguez is due up next. Rodriguez, who has 7 home runs on the year, 39 RBIs. Peterson trying to get back in the strike zone, and Burns will take this one all the way for a strike on the fastball. 90 miles an hour on that one. 3-1 is the count. UNLV 25-21, 7-11 in conference play. Preseason Mount West poll, they were projected to finish 6th. Remember, the top 6 teams make it into the conference tournament. As this one's high up in the air, and it's going to be foul out of play. So the count runs full 3-2. As mentioned, Johnny Rodriguez due up next here for the Hustlin' Rebels. In the top of the second inning, you'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Holmes, Pelakowski, and back to the top of the lineup with Ross.
I don't know, they're playing UW Milwaukee.
Peterson gets his sign. The payoff pitch. This one's sent high up into the air into shallow center field. I don't know if it's going to be deep enough. Really into shallow right center field. This ball's playing tricks. Coming in to tag is Bussey, and the throw goes to second, so it'll be a sacrifice fly as Bozak was able to catch it on a mile-high pop-up into shallow center field, almost that Bermuda Triangle. And UNLV at least will get one run back here in the bottom of the first inning. So for Burns, that is RBI number 43 on the year. Give credit to Peterson after being down in the count 3-0. He'll take a sacrifice fly. Well, he got a pop-up, the pop-up that he wanted to, but Bussey very aggressive. And Bozak making that play, he didn't have a lot of momentum trying to throw it back into the infield as it went to second. So as we mentioned, Johnny Rodriguez up to bat. First pitch here by Peterson with the lefty versus lefty matchup. And Rodriguez sends a high drive to right field, but not well enough. Marion coming on in as this is a mile-high pop-up, and he's able to clamp it down for out number 3. UNLV does get one run back as we go to the top of the second. The Panthers of Milwaukee on top, 3-1 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. My Tom Check on the call. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on your Sunday morning, wherever you are watching on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. We want to mention this game is brought to you by the Southern Nevada Chevy dealers. With impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and powerful engines, Chevy Silverado, Colorado, and Tahoe have what you need to get things done when you want to do it all. Chevy's got you. See your Southern Nevada Chevy dealer today. First pitch here in the top of the second will be taken down low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. It'll be Christian Holmes up to bat, the 8-hole hitter, the starting shortstop for the Panthers. Junior hitting 197 on the year, 26 hits and 132 plate appearances. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. 6 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs, and 13 RBIs. He is 5 for 5 on stolen base opportunities. So Donegan back out for another inning of work after he got roughed up a little bit in the top of the first inning, giving up 3 runs. And it all started with a single and a triple. Got a fly ball, but it was a sacrifice fly. And then another single, stolen base, and a 2-out hit as the 2-1 pitch. Donegan trying to get back in the strike zone, cannot there. So now the count goes to 3-1. UNLV threatened there in the bottom of the first inning. Got runners at the corners with 1 out. Able to at least get the 1 run in. On the sacrifice fly by Nin Burns the second. As this one is going to be sent foul down the third baseline. Now the count runs full 3-2. For Donegan, he has a 3-pitch repertoire. Fastball hover around 90 to 92. Slider and changeup. As a payoff pitch here, this one's going to be ripped to left field. This ball is well hit, but foul. Foul by about 5 feet. As Holmes got good contact on it, but just a little bit out too far out in front. And Holmes looking for his first base hit of this series. He is 0 for 8. 4 games this year that he's had a multi-hit performance, and he's able to draw the walk, flips the bat back, and it's a leadoff walk for the Panthers. Back-to-back innings, they've got the leadoff batter on the base paths. And for Donegan, that is going to be the 4th walk that he has given up this season.
Number 9, Kate Palkowski.
Kate Palkowski up to bat. The sophomore, 194 average, 13 hits and 67 plate appearances, 7 runs scored, a double, 1 home run and 10 RBIs. Defense is in over on the left-hand side. As Gunnamiro just in front of the grass, maybe expecting a sacrifice bunt, but Palkowski is swinging for the fences and fouls us back out of play. 0-1 is the count. So the walk that Holmes was able to draw was the 7th of the year. For the Panthers, they came in with a .265 team average, getting about 6 runs per game and about 9 hits per game. Is this a high chopper? Rodriguez has it. We'll go to second for 1, and runner goes off the bag, and it's out. Holmes overran the bag as he had a little bit of a collision. Rodriguez went for the aggressive throw to second. I thought he was going to go to first because Holmes was about almost 80% of the way there to second. But the gamble pays off. You go back to the top of the lineup with Grant Ross. Ross up to bat. He singled in his first plate appearance and came around to score on the RBI triple by Charlie Marion. Donegan is set in the first pitch. High fastball is in there for a strike. Right around 90 miles an hour. 0-1 is the count. For UNLV in the bottom of the second inning, they will have Sheff, Hurdle, and Talixon do up 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Oh, one throw back over to first. And Palkowski is able to get back just in time. So Ross with that base hit, able to improve his average up to .264. Donegan right now, runners on this year. Opponents are hitting .406 against him. Runner going. This one sent high up in the air in the right field. It's going to land for a base hit. Palkowski had to hold up as that ball had a lot more elevation than he was probably hoping for on the hit and run there, as Ross is able to just power in front of Nin Burns the second. So now 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. And that will bring up
Number 22, right fielder,
Charlie Marion up to bat. RBI triple down the right field line in his first plate appearance. And right now for the Panthers, we talked about for Donegan, he's given up quite a bit of base hits with runners on. Opponents hitting .424 against him. They're 3 for 6 today, trying to get another one. As that one will miss down low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Palkowski over at second. Ross over at first on the hit and run. And that ball just held up too long there for Cade to kind of try to go from first to third. He had to make sure that it dropped before potentially having to scurry back over to first. As the count is 2-0 here. See a little bit of activity in the bullpen for UNLV. See how long the Rebels will go with Donegan here. Here's the 2-0. That one will get back in the strike zone. 2-1 is a count. They're on the slider. Dylan O'Connell is due up next here for the Panthers at that sacrifice fly. With for Marion, the RBI triple, his first triple, my apologies, of the season. He's going to send a chopper over to first. Rodriguez has it. He'll take it to the bag himself, 3 unassisted as it moves the runners up to second and third. But UNLV gets that very important second out here in the top of the second inning. Rodriguez just able to win the battle there between him and Marion. Dylan O'Connell up to bat. O'Connell with the sacrifice fly. His 32nd RBI on the season. And his second of the series. Still looking for his first base hit. Donegan trying anything and everything to try to put up a zero spot. It won't happen there. Base hit up the middle. One run is in. Ross is going to be waved home. The throw will be cut off, and it's now 5-1. Milwaukee on top of UNLV here in the top of the second. O'Connell with his first hit of the series rips it back up the middle. Polakowski and Ross score.
DH, Dominic Kibler.
And that will bring up Dominic Kibler. 5-1. Panthers on top of UNLV. 30 RBIs on the day here for O'Connell. Now up to 34 on the year. We're back over to first. So yet again, the Panthers just early on in this ball game, they are 6 for 10. Already 6 hits for Milwaukee. Previous 2 games, on Friday and Saturday, they scored 4 runs in each game. Had 4 hits in that Friday loss, 9 hits yesterday. As runners going, pitch out, throw to second. It is a beautiful play there by UNLV, but not in time on the tag. UNLV was anticipating it. O'Connell is able to beat the throw. Talixon with a beautiful throw to Berrigan covering the bag, but just by about a half second, O'Connell is able to beat out the throw for his 35th stolen base this year. That is unbelievable numbers. Wow. The 1-0. Down low, and Kibler is able to hold the swing. 2-0 is the count. 5-1. Here in the top of the second. 3 in the first for the Panthers. 2 now here in the second. And they're still hitting around here. 4 for 8 with runners on. 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position. And 2 for 3 with 2 outs. Good stop there by Talixon on the low throw. And Donegan just not finding his rhythm right now. Josh, who played his last 2 seasons at Long Beach State. Last season he missed a month due to an injury. Just trying to find some rhythm here and trying to give UNLV some length. That one just misses on the outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk here to the DH. So that'll bring up Joey Spence. Spence is 0 for 1 on the day. So you got O'Connell over at second. Kibler now over at first. Donegan now has issued 2 walks.
Joey Spence.
And we're going to have a pitching change here for UNLV. So Josh Donegan did not get the start that he was hoping for. Gives up 5 runs here in the first 2 innings and is on the hook for runners at second and first. So we'll take a quick break and be right back here from Las Vegas, Nevada. The Panthers on top of UNLV 5-1 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomczyk on the call, filling in for Matt and Drew Neverett. We hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday afternoon, wherever you're watching on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. UNLV has gone to the pen, and this pitching change is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. For the Rebels, Jace Evangelista is on the mound. I've been calling a lot of softball. I've caught myself a couple times. I keep saying in the circle. I'm going to say on the mound. Kind of a couple things that are drilled into your brain. So Evangelista on the mound for UNLV, and for Jace, the ERA at 6.03, WHIP 1.51. 4-1 is his record. He has 2 saves on the year, 34 in the third innings of work, 40 hits given up, 25 runs, 23 of them have been earned, 12 walks to 46 strikeouts, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs given up. Got great punch-out stuff, 46 Ks over 34 innings. And UNLV is going to need it. They're going to get this strike right there. 0-1 is the count. So you've got 2 on, 2 out, already 2 runs across here in the top of the second. Donegan unable to get the consistent start that he was hoping for. As the 0-1 here by Evangelista is going to be taken down low for a ball. 1-1 is the count. I mentioned Joey Spence up to bat. Spence struck out in his first plate appearance. The 1-1 here from Evangelista. Swung on a miss for a strike. 1-2 is the count. For Jace, the last time we saw him on the mound was back on April 26th against UNR. 4 innings of work for him. He gave up 5 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And it was the 1-2 pitch. Half swing, did he go around? Appeal over to third, yes, and that will end the threat. So Evangelista is able to strike out Spence out of the pen and stop the damage. 2 runs across the board here in the top of the second for the Panthers. They hold a 5-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. 2 up here for the Rebels. It will be Cooper Sheff, Jaden Hurl, and Connor Tallickson. We're in the bottom of the second here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium on the campus of UNLV. The Rebels trail this one 5-1. As well, I mentioned, this game is brought to you by Pueblo Medical Imaging. The friendly staff of Pueblo Medical Imaging is eager to take care of all your radiology needs and offer same-day, next-day availability. With top-of-the-line state-of-the-art equipment, they're open 7 days a week with early morning and evening appointments to accommodate all patient schedules. So Riley Peterson has now been spotted a 4-run lead after he gave up 1 run in the bottom of the first. The Panthers get 2 runs in the top of the second. They chase Josh Donegan out of the pen. And Cooper Sheff will be up to bat here for the Rebels, the designated hitter today for the Hustlin' Rebels. There's this one on the inside for a ball. 2-0 is the count. 306 average here for Sheff. He has 52 hits and 170 plate appearances, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 8 home runs, and 35 RBIs. As he was swinging for the fences on a 2-0 count, unable to connect. 2-1 here to Cooper. Sophomore, standing 6'4" from Las Vegas, Nevada, 2 for 7 this weekend against the Panthers with an RBI. He's got a hit in 4 straight games. 13 times this season he's had a multi-hit performance. And when leading off an inning, he is hitting .375. And now the count even 2-2. Chef did not like that outside call. Jim Courtney is calling balls and strikes today. So Chef up to bat. You got Hurl and Talixon. Due up as a chopper over to short. On the bounce, Holmes has it. Long throw over to first in time for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. So they'll bring up Jaden Hurdle, the left fielder, the sophomore. .316 average on the year, 31 hits and 98 plate appearances. Scored 20 runs on the year, 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and 22 RBIs. And for Hurdle, just a double check here. This is his first appearance of the weekend against the Panthers. Favorable matchup for UNLV, lefty versus righty, as the first pitch by Peterson is going to be sent into the stands here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. And a nice catch off the rebound there. Bounced off of one of the seats, and one of the UNLV players is able to get it. 1-1 is the count here, 1 out. UNLV trying to chip away here. Trailing this one 5-1 as that one misses outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Good start here for Peterson after he walked Bussey to start out the bottom of the first. And gave up the hit to Barrick and was helped out by Bozak at second. Made a great play, and Bozak, oh, he almost did it again. It bounces off of his glove. Oh, my goodness, right on cue. Almost identical. Going to his right was Bozak, and it bounced off of his glove. And it squirts into center field. Hurdle will get a hit.
Number 45.
And that will bring up Connor Talixon. Talixon, the senior, 150 average, 3 hits in 20 plate appearances, 1 RBI on the year. This is the 6th game that Connor has started. Usually it is Aiden Garcia, who is kind of the everyday catcher for UNLV. Then also you had Gavin Taylor start the first 2 games, and Taylor has the lone home run for the Rebels so far this weekend, as that one's in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. So the second hit of the ball game for UNLV. It's an entertaining one. Hurdle over at first. It's only tipped in 1 stolen base this year. As this one high and deep down the right-hand side, but it's going to go foul. Looks like it's going to go into the bullpen area for UNLV. 0-2 is the count here. Gunnar Myro is due up next, barring a double play. For the Panthers, we go to the top of the 3rd. They will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. Bozak, Hadley, and Holmes. The 0-2 is going to be sent to second. 4, 6. Oh, it's a high throw, but they're going to tag out Talixon, and there is that double play. So UNLV got a 1-out base hit, but a 4-6-3 double play ends the threat. So we go to the top of the 3rd. The Panthers on top of UNLV, 5-1, here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Top three here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My top check on the call. 5-1. Milwaukee on top of UNLV. The rubber match between these two teams. UNLV took the first game on Friday night, 14-4. And then on Saturday night, the Panthers were able to bounce back and win it 4-1. Picked up their first ever win against UNLV. Second ever matchup between these two teams. The Rebels beat Milwaukee last year and swept them in 4 games. As the first pitch taken for a ball, 1-0 is the count. Evangelista back out for his second inning of work out of the pen as he gets back in the strike zone. 1-1 is the count. Connor Bozak up to bat. Bozak with an RBI single. Is shown the leather as well. Made a great defensive play in the bottom of the first. Almost made a great play there in the bottom of the second, but made it up for starting out that 4-6-3 double play. It's 1-1. It's fouled back out of play. Evangelista, the second game that I have called here for UNLV baseball. The first one was the first game of the season. Evangelista in that game came in, went 4 1/3, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. And his strikeout stuff has been great as he does it right there. Another strikeout for Evangelista. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jace, as he's now up to 48 on the season. As John Hadley will be up to bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
Number 6, John Hadley.
And for Evangelista, what Stan Stolte and staff would love to see is to get some depth out of him. If you can go 4+ innings, kind of limit how much UNLV will use that bullpen, as there's a swing and a miss on that one. 0-1 is the count. 93 miles an hour on the fastball there by Evangelista. He kind of stands in. You know, it can go as many as 75 pitches out of the pen. Fastball, he hovers around 90 to 93 with cut. As a cutter, hard and more sweep to it, 89 to 87 miles an hour. A good curveball as well. As the 1-1. Just missed on the outside for a ball. 2-1 is the count. Got Christian Holmes due up next for UNLV. In the bottom of the third, they will have the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up. Gunnar Myro, Reggie Bussey, and Marcos Rosales. 2-1. Down low. 3-1 is the count, and for Evangelista, not a lot of walks in comparison to his strikeouts and how many innings that he has thrown so far this year. Jace, who's in his first season with the Rebels, played the last 2 seasons at Washington. Trying to get back in the strike zone, unable to there. It's a 5-pitch walk, and for the Panthers, that is the 3rd walk that they've been able to get so far here today. They have been swinging the bat well, 6 for 12, but all that really happened against Josh Donegan.
29, Christian Holmes.
So I'll bring up Christian Holmes, who drew one of those 3 walks. Came back in the second. This is the final stat line here for Donegan. He went 1 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned, 2 walks and a strikeout. Faced 13 batters, gave up 1 extra base hit. It was that RBI triple. 42 pitches, 26 of them were for strikes. As Evangelista now down to the count here, 1-0. So Hadley over at first, able to draw the walk. He's 5 for 6 on stolen base opportunities. I think everybody in this lineup for Milwaukee's a bunt attempt here. It's going to be pulled back, but it's going to be taken for a strike. 1-1, here's the count on that 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Balakowski due up next, barring a double play. We saw UNLV have a chance to threaten in the bottom of the second, but a 4-6-3 double play wiped that out. Can UNLV get one here? It won't happen. It's a line drive to right field. This ball is well hit, but going over to his left is Burns, and is able to make the nice catch for out number 2. So the Panthers will need a 2-out hit, as they're 2 for 4 today in that department.
Number 9, left fielder, Kate Palkowski.
So Palkowski up to bat, 0 for 1. Starting left fielder today for the Panthers. And this is a Milwaukee team who as of lately have been playing good baseball. The Horizon League where they're second as a throwback over to first. Ooh, almost. They got Hadley kind of leaning a little bit to his right. And Evangelista, quick fire almost, was able to get the pickoff. For the Panthers, Milwaukee, they are currently second in the Horizon League, just behind, and they're behind Wright State as Evangelista is able to drop that one in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. last weekend, April 24th through the 26th for Milwaukee. They welcomed in Wright State. They took 2 out of 3 against them, so a good bounce back, just trying to get the momentum going as a check swing appeal over to third. And the umpire says a no. 1-1 is the count. But for the Panthers, who've been playing, like I said, playing their best baseball as of lately, had an 8-game winning streak before it was snapped against Wright State. And then they challenged themselves playing some P4 schools as a pickoff over at first, not in time. Played at Northwestern earlier this week, lost 10-8. Then went to South Bend, Indiana to take on Notre Dame. Lost 16-2. Start out the season, they played at the time the #1 team in the country, LSU. 1-1 runners going. This one's going to be sent into left field for a base hit. Another 2-out hit here for the Panthers. It'll go station to station as Hadley was in motion. And Palikowski was able to just sneak it through the open side there on the left-hand side of the infield for UNLV. And we go back to the top of the lineup with Grant Ross up to bat.
The third baseman, Grant Ross.
So Ross now has batted in all 3 innings. He is 2 for 2 on the day. Singles, and he scored the first run of the ball game on the RBI triple by Marion as the first pitch here by Evangelista, trying to get the chase, unable to. 1-0 is the count. That 8-game winning streak for the Panthers, that was tied for 4th for the longest winning streak in program history. And trying to take 2 out of 3 against UNLV, who swept them in 4 games last year. So that one will be taken for a strike. 1-1 is a count. And for Milwaukee, after this trip here to UNLV, they'll go back to Franklin, Wisconsin, and take on Valparaiso, as that one is swung on and fouled back out of play. They have a 1-game matchup against UIC, and then back to conference play where they'll travel to Ohio to take on Youngstown State. Their win against Wright State. Good bounce back for them because the previous series, as the 1-2, that one's going to miss down low. 2-2 is the count. They were swept by Wright State, who was mentioned first in the Horizon League. UNLV currently sitting 7th in the Mountain West. Top 6 teams make it into the conference tournament as the 2-2. Runner goes, ball bounce around, and everybody is going to advance. So yet again here, the Panthers aggressive on the base paths. And it was an off-speed pitch in the dirt. They picked the perfect pitch to run on as Talixon had to kind of go to his right just to keep it in front of him. So count is now full 3-2 here. Evangelista trying to put up the first 0 spot for a UNLV pitcher today. The payoff pitch. This one high up into the other right center field, but not well enough. It goes right to Nin Burns the second, who is able to clamp it down for out number 3. So UNLV is able to get a 0 spot. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Rebels, they will send up Gunnar Myro, Reggie Bussey, and Marcos Rosales here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Gunnar Myro lead it off here for UNLV in the bottom of the third. The Rebels trail this one 5-1 here on this Sunday afternoon. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, or if you're watching on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Riley Peterson back out for his third inning of work. Will face off against the starting third baseman, who's going to lay down a bunt, but sends it back foul out of play. 1-1 is the count. For Myro, the junior, 344 average on the year, 42 hits and 122 plate appearances, 24 runs scored on the year, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, and 26 RBIs. So UNLV finally able to put up a 0 spot as Evangelista was able to get the fly out to right field after there were 2 in scoring position. Milwaukee today has been just fabulous with 2 outs, 3 for 6 and 5 for 12 with runners on. In comparison for UNLV, 1 for 4 with runners on and 0 for 1 with 2 outs. Count is 1-1 the pitch. Myro underneath this one and fouls it back out of play. 1-2. So you got Myro, Bussey, and Rosales due up here for the Rebels. They scored 1 in the bottom of the first off a sacrifice fly by Nin Burns the second. Evangelista, who had to replace Donegan, was able to get the strikeout to end the second. Dealt with traffic on the base paths, but as we mentioned, UNLV needed to find a way to get that 0 spot. They do. And see if the offense can get going here, as that one will miss high and inside. 2-2 is the count on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. As mentioned, for UNLV, they have this game here to finish out against Milwaukee, Tuesday game against BYU, and then 6 final games in conference play as this one is fouled back out of play. 2-2 is the count. Where UNLV, they need to find a way to get into the top 6. The Rebels made the Mountain West tournament last year. Right now in first place is San Diego State, 12-5. Washington State is in second at 13-7, actually tied with Air Force. You've got UNR at 12-8, New Mexico 11-8-1. UNLV is currently trailing right now GCU, who's 7-10. UNLV 7-11. The Rebels do play against Fresno State. And when you look at Fresno State this year, 1-15-1, 12-31-1. That is a series UNLV has to sweep. Those are ones that you got to find a way to get all 3, because then you end the season against San Diego State, who is the best team in the conference as it stands right now. As Myro, high pop-up over on the right-hand side. Mile-high pop-up has got about the hang time about 10 seconds as it's going to be caught there by Bozak in shallow right field for out number 1. And quite a bit of mile-high pop-ups today. So we go back to the top of the lineup here with Reggie Bussey. Bussey was able to draw the walk in his first plate appearance and came around to score the lone run of the ball game for UNLV. It's just a lone walk that Peterson has given up. Right now the pitch count is sitting at 40 for Riley, the junior, who came in with the ERA at 8.66. The last 2 appearances have not gone his way, but right now as it stands, he is looking really, really good as the first pitch is in there for a strike. And he's also been helped out offensively, 5 runs through the first 2 innings for the Panthers. Lefty versus lefty matchup here. As Bussey sitting on a 274 average. The pitch. Swing and a miss on that one. And now the count is 0-2. Marcos Rosales due up next. UNLV 2 hits on the day. Berrigan and Hurdle had the 2 hits, although Hurdle was wiped away on a inning-ending double play, a 4-6-3 double play. And Bussey, did he go around? Yes, that is a strikeout. And for Peterson, that's his first strikeout of the ball game. Number 54 on the 2026 campaign. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the third, and Marcos Rosales will try to start the rally for UNLV. 326 average right now here for Rosales, who's looking for his first hit in the series, but been able to find his way on the base pass via the free pass. He's drawn 4 walks, also has an RBI. His average has been over 300 in all but 2 games this year, 18 multi-hit performances. Rosales, who plays last 2 seasons at Cal State Fullerton, as the first pitch will miss high and inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Berrigan is due up next if Rosales can keep this inning alive. The 1-0. That one misses well outside. 2-0 is the count. For the Panthers in the top of the 4th inning, they will have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Marion, O'Connell, and Keebler. 2-0 is the count. Peterson trying to get back in the strike zone. is able to get a high pop-up over on the left-hand side. Who wants it? Is going to be called off by Palikowski, who calls off Holmes and will clamp it down for out number 3. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Panthers as we go to the top of the 4th. Milwaukee on top of UNLV 5-1 here from Las Vegas, Nevada. In the top of the 4th here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. The Panthers of Milwaukee on top of UNLV 5-1. As we want to mention, this game is brought to you by West Coast Trial Lawyers. West Coast Trial Lawyers is the #1 rated personal injury firm and are proud supporters of UNLV athletics. Get the most with West Coast. As the first pitch here in the top of the 4th is going to be taken for a high strike. 0-1 is the count. Charlie Marion up to bat. Marion with the RBI triple that got the scoring going in the top of the 1st inning and then grounded out to first base in his second go-around as Evangelista just misses on that one. 1-1 is the count. So right now for Jace, 1.1 inning of work. He's given up just the 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Stopped the bleeding there in the top of the 2nd and was able to put up the first 0 spot for the Rebels in the 3rd, with the Panthers threatening with 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Count is 1-2. Evangelista has 2 strikeouts on the day, looking for number 3. He gets it. Swing and a miss on a high strike. And a good start here to the top of the 4th for the Rebels, as Marion is set down on strikes for the 35th time this season. Dylan O'Connell will be up to bat. O'Connell with a sacrifice fly that scored Marion. And then a single and a stolen base. Really great on the base paths, this Milwaukee team, as the off-speed curveball placed in perfectly for the first strike. 0-1 is the count. O'Connell with 15 multi-hit performances on the year, as that one missed well down low. 1-1 is the count. He has now gotten a hit in 12 of the last 14 games. Career .290 hitter. Had his last 2 seasons at Western Kentucky. And appeal over to first on the check swing, and no, says first base umpire Tyler Wall. So count 2-1, 1 out. As UNLV in the bottom of the 4th inning as they try to mount the comeback. Good spot to the lineup to try to get that going, as that one's well inside, and it knocks O'Connell off the plate. 3-1 is the count. It'll be Berrigan, Burns, and Rodriguez, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Three and 1 the count, and Evangelista is able to get back in the strike zone on the 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So Jace looking for back-to-back strikeouts, payoff pitch, and it's a, swing that goes back foul, out of play. (5-1) the score. This is the rubber match between Milwaukee and UNLV. Kibler due up next. He's had a good game as well, as this one sent high and foul out of play.
Right here, right here.
7 hits on the day here for the Panthers. They had 9 in yesterday's win. They won 4-1 for UNLV. You know, they've gotten good performances in the first 2 games from their pitching staff. Only had to use 3 pitchers in both games. Yes, there's another swing and a miss. Evangelista rises the eyes of O'Connell for back-to-back Ks. That's 4 punch-outs out of the pen for Jace.
The designated hitter.
And Dominic Kibler will be up to bat. He's 1 for 1 on the day. A single and a walk. Evangelista, who has been able to kind of stop this offense of the Panthers, trying to put up another 0 spot, trying to get the first 1-2-3 inning for UNLV as that one misses well outside. But on the Friday win for UNLV, Parker Dilhoff went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned. Only 3 pitchers that were used in that game. And then yesterday, Carson Lane did pick up the loss, went 5 innings, still effective, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, had 8 strikeouts. There are 3 pitchers there. So UNLV at least hasn't had to be a taxing weekend with the pen, as that one will be taken high for a ball. 2-0 is the count. Joey Spence due up next if Kibler is able to keep this inning alive. 2-0. This one's popped up, foul out of play. So Evangelista 4 strikeouts, and just kind of looking at it here for Jace. Season high, I believe he's done 5, and he's done it multiple times. First game against Austin Peay, then against Bradley, and then had 5 in his last appearance against the Wolfpack of UNR, the 2-1. Right down the middle for a strike. And the count goes even 2-2. Opponents against Evangelista so far this season with 2 outs, hitting .275. And for Milwaukee, they've been great with 2 outs, 3 for 6. The 2-2 is a check swing, appeal over to third. No. UNLV, the fans, they thought it was going to be a strikeout there, and Evangelista was going to strike out the side, trying to get some momentum back on UNLV's side. But the count now full 3-2 here to the designated hitter for the Panthers. The payoff pitch is high and deep to left field. This ball is well hit. Going back, but just in front of the warning track, and Hurdle's able to make the catch for a loud out number 3. Jace Evangelista's been great out of the pen. Puts up another 0 spot. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Milwaukee on top of UNLV 5-1.
Rebel up. Shortstop, number 5.
Bottom 4, UNLV and Milwaukee. Rubber match between these two teams. The Panthers are currently on top 5-1. Also want to mention that today's game is brought to you by America First, Nevada's premier credit union. Whatever financial goals you got for yourself, your family, or your business, America First can help you get your money working. So head to americafirst.com and join the home team today. As the first pitch here to Drew Berrigan is a big swing and a miss. 0-1 is the count. Riley Peterson back out. 4th inning of work. So far, his stat line, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It's been earned, a walk, and a strikeout. He's faced 11 batters. The pitch count right now sitting only at 46. 47 on that one, now 48 as it's down low for a ball. 1-1 is the count as UNLV trying to mount the comeback. They do have their sweet spot of the lineup here. As that one will miss on the outside. 2-1 is the count for Drew, who is 1 for 1 on the day, has the one of the 2 hits. That happened with Reggie Bussey over at first, moved him over to third, and UNLV scored their lone run on a sacrifice flies. This one's high, deep left field. This ball is well hit, going back at the wall, and it is gone. Drew Berrigan with a rocket shot over the left field wall. Gets UNLV within 3. It is 5-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. For Berrigan on the year, that is number 10, and that's the most now in this UNLV lineup. Breaks a tie with Marcos Rosales. And then Burns the second will be up to that. And that home run brought to you by NV Energy. So there's the announcer's jinx, unfortunately, for the Milwaukee fans and for the family of Riley Peterson. I said he was doing great, yep, and then gives up a home run. That is tried true into tradition, the announcer's curse, as this one is fouled back out of play. 0-1 is the count here. Burns with the sacrifice fly in his first plate appearance. It was a shallow pop-up into center field. It was caught by Bozak, and give credit to Bussey, who was aggressive on the tag and was able to score. So UNLV, after stopping the offensive threat, Evangelista out of the pen has been great, and the Rebels finally are able to get their first run since the bottom of the 1st. And can that wake up this high-powered offense of UNLV, who scored 14 runs in the win on Friday, but just had 1 yesterday? And for the Rebels, that was the 60th home run they have crushed so far this year, as that one went over the left field wall. And as of note, for people watching on the YouTube stream, the high walls here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium, there are no cheapies. 2-1. This one high, deep left field yet again, but it's going to stay into the ballpark as Palakowski is able to go to his right, and we'll clamp it down for out number 1. So Peterson is able to bounce back after giving up the home run. Just the 2nd home run that he has given up in 47 2/3 innings of work on the 2026 campaign. Now bring up Johnny Rodriguez. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Rodriguez 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to right field in his first plate appearance. And for Berrigan, that was his third hit of the series. He now has 23 multi-hit games. Drew has been, could make the argument, probably the best hitter in this lineup for UNLV, as the first pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Cooper Chef is due up next, and as that one will miss down low for a ball. 1-1 is the count here for the Panthers. We'll see if Evangelista will come back out. Just trying to look at his pitch count right now. It's sitting at 42. Don't know. We'll see. If UNLV would love for Evangelista to go for the rest of the game the way he has been pitching, as that one will miss down low for a ball. 2-1 is the count. But for the Panthers, as they head to the top of the 5th, right now as it stands 5-2, they will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Spence, Bozak, and Hadley. 2-1. This one sent, right into the dugout of Milwaukee. Almost, I found, very close to getting somebody there in the dugout. Might have got somebody. Looks like everyone is okay, as the count is 2-2 here. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Peterson, who just gave up his first solo shot of the ball game. UNLV finally able to score for the first time since the bottom of the first, and now time will be called here. Well, miscommunication as Spence will come out to talk to Peterson. See a little bit of action in the bullpen for Milwaukee. Right now the count 2-2, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth after the conference call. Rodriguez is set, sitting on a 263 average. Lefty versus lefty matchup, and Rodriguez will foul this one over to now his dugout. 2-2 is the count. Peterson, the junior from Verona, Wisconsin. Out a little bit southwest of Madison, Wisconsin. As the 2-2, swung on a miss, strike three, and the ball was dropped. Rodriguez will just concede on, head back over to the dugout. So Peterson is able to get the strikeout. That's his second of the ball game. And Cooper Sheff will be up to bat. Sheff is 0 for 1 on the day. We'll try to get a 2-out rally going. And just a note here for Peterson, the most pitches that he has thrown so far this year, 102. And a win against Youngstown State back on April 4th. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned 2 walks and 9 strikeouts as this one sent high deep into center field. It's well hit, but not well enough. Right to the center fielder, O'Connell, and that will end the inning. But Drew Berrigan with a solo shot to left field. UNLV gets 1 run back as we head to the top of the 5th. The Panthers on top of UNLV, 5-2. Joey Spence will lead it off here in the top of the 5th. Jace Evangelista back out for another inning of work as he has been great out of the pen for UNLV as the first pitch will be taken down low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. 5-2, Milwaukee on top of the Rebels, the Hustling Rebels, who just got a solo home run by Drew Berrigan. Got it within 3 here as Evangelista will continue to try to quiet down and shut down this Milwaukee offense that scored 5 runs in the first 2 innings against the starter, Josh Donegan. 2-0 is the count here to Spence, who has had his struggles at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But he sends a charge into this one into center field. It is well hit, but not well enough. Bussey kind of twirling around a little bit and will clamp it down for out number 1. Fly out to center field to start out the 5th inning. Now we'll bring up Connor Bozak.
The second baseman, number 7, Connor Bozak.
Bozak on the day, 1 for 2. Got the average up to 364. He's had also some great plays defensively today, taking away a base hit off the bat of Marcos Rosales back in the bottom of the first as the first pitch there by Evangelista off speed, trying to get the chase, unable to. 1-0 is the count. So Evangelista right now 2 2/3 has given up just the 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 Ks. And his stuff has been great. Off speed, fastball, whatever it is. The Panthers have just not been able to kind of time it up. Their best threat against Evangelista as the count is 1-1. Came back there in the 3rd when they got a 2-out base hit. Runners advanced to 2nd and 3rd, but Evangelista was able to get the clutch 3rd out. It's kept UNLV in the ballgame. 2-1 is the count. As this one will be fouled back out of play, and now the count is 2-2. As mentioned for Jace, most strikeouts that he has had so far this season have been 5, and he's done that multiple times. Second time I've called a UNLV game this year, second time I've seen Evangelista. He's been great out of the pen. Against Austin P in the first game of the season, he went 4 1/3 and went the rest of the distances. This one's high and deep to right field into foul territory, and it's going to land out of play. Still the count 2-2. John Hadley due up next. It's a Milwaukee team that got 6 of their 7 hits off of Josh Donegan, but since Evangelista has been in, only the 1 off speed. This one's to be sent to short on the backhand. Long throw to first on a bounce, and it's a great play. Drew Berrigan, who just had the home run, a tough throw, and a good job there by Rodriguez to get small to make sure he was able to hold on to that ball. And that is out number 2, 6-3 on the score sheet here in the top of the 5th inning.
Next up, number 6, first baseman, John Hadley.
John Hadley up to bat, starting first baseman for the Panthers. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Lined out to center field and then walked in his last plate appearance. Also got a stolen base. Ooh, Evangelista loses his footing there. That was a weird one there. So it should be considered, I guess, a balk, and it's 1-0 the count. Although the umpire put up 1-1. 1-0. I was going to say here, Hadley's like, whoa, 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 that's only the first pitch that I've seen, or it wasn't even a pitch, so I haven't seen that. Evangelista's been so great, and then he just kind of tripped over himself on the mound. Yeah, as he rips this one to right field, this ball is well hit, and it's going to land for a base hit, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Hadley will take the turn and will be at second with a 2-out double. Another 2-out hit here for the Panthers. They are now 4 for 8 in that department. As Burns, the second, was able to get to that one quickly. Try to avoid a potential triple. So the Panthers, who are trying to score for the first time against Evangelista, the first time since the top of the 2nd. Christian Holmes will be up to bat. Christian is 0 for 1 on the day, a walk and a line out to right field. So Hadley over at second. That was his 3rd double on the 2026 campaign. As he swings and misses at that one on the off speed. 0-1 is the count. For the Panthers today with runners on, 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position, 2 for 5. Very impressive with 2 outs as well. Making UNLV pitchers throw a little bit extra here. As they're going to send this one up the middle for a base hit. Hadley will get the green light. He will head to. Now we're going to have a play at second. The throw gets away. It's going to go into UNLV's dugout. Heading over to third will be Holmes as Hadley scores. An errant throw there by Bussey. Holmes is going to second. If that throw was on time, it was going to be an out by a country mile, but the throw gets away and it goes all the way to UNLV's dugout. And for the Panthers, they get the run back, and they finally are able to get the run against Evangelista.
Number 9,
Hadley was getting the green light over at third. Holmes with the RBI, and Palakowski will be up to bat. He's 1 for 2 on the day. But for Holmes, that is going to be RBI number 14 on the 2026 campaign, and he is over at third. As this one is fouled back out of play. So the Rebels now down yet again by 4, as they will have the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up in the bottom of the 5th. Hurdle, Talixon, and Gunnar Myro. 0-1 is the count. Evangelista will take this one for a strike as Palakowski went for a bunt attempt and pulled back. Jace now 1 strike away from limiting the damage to just the 1 run here. Holmes with the RBI. They're going to give him credited with a double. Advancing to third on the throwing error. As that one misses outside for a ball, 1-0 is the count. So back-to-back doubles here by the Panthers. First by Hadley down the right field line, and then Holmes being aggressive on the base hit up the middle. The air goes to Bussey. First of the ball game for UNLV. As Evangelista set off-speed pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3. But the Panthers do get 1 run across the board. Holmes with an RBI double. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Milwaukee leads UNLV 6-2 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Back here live at Alameda Stadium here in Alameda Stadium. I knew I was going to do that today. That is the softball stadium, as I've been calling the majority of it. Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Also shout out to Christy Fox and the UNLV softball team. A sweep against the in-state rivals UNR will be the #2 seed in next week's conference tournament up in Reno, Nevada. It is Jaden Hurdle who is up to bat here, as that one will be in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Hurdle, the left fielder. UNLV now down 6-2. He is 1 for 1 on the day. Single that bounced off the glove of Bozak, as that one's in there for a strike. Hurdle did not like that call, and the count is 1-2. Bounced off the glove of Bozak, who was trying to make another spectacular catch, but Hurdle was wiped out on a 4-6-3 double play that ended the threat for the Rebels. So UNLV, after getting that home run, still unable to kind of get the clutch pitching as they would like. The 100% clutch pitching. Evangelista's been great out of the pen, but they were hoping for another 0 spot after getting that run. Now down by 4 yet again as the count is 2-2. Riley Peterson's still out there for the Panthers. Has limited this UNLV offense to just 3 hits so far. 9 hits overall here for Milwaukee. As the 2-2 pitch. Is a little dribbler over to third. This is going to be a tough play. This might be a fair ball. It is. It bounces off the bag. Hurdle dazzles there. I don't think he could have done any better. He couldn't even rolled it down the line any better as it bounces off the glove. It's a base hit, so Hurdle is able to get the hit. And UNLV, they're going to make a change here, and it will be Aiden Garcia who will be pitch hitting for Connor Talixon. So Hurdle, that's the 10th game so far this season that he has gotten a multi-hit performance. Earlier this year, he had a 10-game hitting streak. The first pitch here to Garcia is going to be a big swing and a miss for a strike. 1-1 is the count. For Aiden, 313 average on the year. With runners on, he's hitting 329. He has 42 hits and 134 plate appearances, 35 runs scored, 36 RBIs, 22 walks, 37 strikeouts, 5 doubles, 8 home runs. Good pop in the bat for Garcia as that one misses outside. Aiden so far this weekend, 2 for 7 with 2 RBIs and a walk. 12 times this season. He has had a multi-hit performance. The senior from California. Lefty versus lefty matchup here as the 1-1 by Peterson. Garcia high up into the air in the left field. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Pelakowski battling the sun a little bit, is able to clamp it down for out number 1. As Hurdle will head it back over to first base. That'll bring up Gunnar Myro. He's 0 for 1 on the day. So Rebels just picked up their 4th hit, 2 off of that of the sophomore over at first. Myro 0 for 1. He popped up to second base in his first plate appearance. And Peterson, who came in with the ERA at 8.66, now down to 8.27. 3-4 is his record. As he gets a big swing and a miss from Myro. 0-1 is the count. If Myro can avoid a double play here, you go back to Bussey at the top of the lineup. He's 0 for 1. And for the Panthers in the top of the 6th, they will have the 1, 2, and 3 hitters due up. Ooh, that one right, comes inside and it gets Myro. So Peterson with an errant pitch. That's the 13th batter that he has hit so far this year. So 2 on, 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup here with Reggie Bussey. Be a lefty versus lefty matchup as UNLV trying to mount the comeback. Down by 4 yet again. 6-2 is the score. So Hurdle with a infield single down the third baseline that bounced off of the bag and then a hit batter. So the frustration there for Peterson. Got 2 runners on and the ball hasn't left the infield. As Peterson will step off the bag and just throw it over to second. Hurdle quickly back over. Not really an aggressive pickoff move there. Bussey's 0 for 1. As I mentioned, the walk in the first inning. He came around to score the first run of the ball game for UNLV and then struck out in his last plate appearance. One of the 2 Ks for Peterson. Bussey's going to lay down a bunt, and somehow he fouls it all the way back over the press box here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. That was quite impressive on that one. 0-1 is the count as you got Marcos Rosales due up next here for the Rebels. And then lurking is Drew Berrigan, and Berrigan would love to have an opportunity to hit with runners on the base paths. He's 2 for 2 on the day and just took Peterson deep. We'll see if Milwaukee, if that does get to that point, that they have Peterson face off against Berrigan as that one is dropped in for a strike. Beautiful off-speed pitch. 0-2 is the count. Bussey right now is 1 for 8 in this series with an RBI and 2 walks. Had a 9-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. As the 0-2. This one down low. Good stop by Spence behind the plate. Count is 1-2. Hurdle over at second. Myro over at first. Bussey yesterday was 0 for 4. UNLV got 6 hits in the loss. Only got 1 run. 2 by Myro. 2 by Burns the second. And then 1 by Salmon and Chef. 1-2 is the count. The pitch. Bussey, did he go? Peel over to third? No. Count even 2-2. Some of the stats here for Bussey in this situation. Runners on 298, but with runners in scoring position, it's dipped down to 258. Overall average sitting at 272. Hurdle over at second has attempted just 1 stolen base this year. As the count is 2-2, the pitch. Down and outside. The count runs full 3-2. Peterson in danger as we do see some action in the bullpen yet again here for the Panthers. Count is full 3-2. 2 Rebels on the base paths here as they trail it by 4. Riley is set. The pitch. Bussey swings and misses. Foul tip. It's caught actually by Spence. And a big strikeout there for Riley Peterson. His 3rd of the ball game. And now for UNLV, it'll be up to Marcos Rosales to try to keep this rally going for the Rebels, who have been unable to get any success with 2 outs today. In comparison to Milwaukee, who's 5 for 10. UNLV, they're just 0 for 3. the Rebels today also not being as consistent as they would like to with runners on. 1 for 6, 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. But a favorable matchup here, lefty versus righty. Rosales, who had a base hit taken away by Bozak in his first plate appearance, then lined out to left field, and he'll take the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Peterson 1 out away from qualifying for a win. As the 0-1. This is well outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count on the off speed. For Peterson, the last time he picked up a win was a great performance against Oakland. Back on April 12th, he went 6 innings, he gave up 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. There's the 1-1. This one's a chopper that's gonna go fair, picked up, tough throw to first is gonna be in time. What a play there by Ross over at third, charging on over. And UNLV, after getting 2 on with 1 out, can't get anything across the board. The Panthers will come up to bat here in the top of the 6th as they are on top, 6-2. Top of the 6th here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It has been a picture-perfect day, picture-perfect weekend for baseball and softball that we've seen on the campus of UNLV. We have a new pitcher here for the Rebels. Felix Ong will be on the mound. A 9.62 ERA for Felix. As he'll throw the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. 1-3 is his record. 33 2/3 innings of work. 40 hits given up. 37 runs. 36 of them have been earned. 35 walks to 31 strikeouts. He's given up 10 doubles, 3 triples, 1 home run, and has hit 5 batters. As that one is going to be in there for a strike. 0-2 is the count here to Grant Ross. Made a nice play over at third to stop the threat of UNLV, who got 2 on and 1 out, but nothing across the board, as this one's going to be fouled back into the netting. Still 0-2 is the count. For UNLV, Garcia remains in the ball game. He will be behind the plate. As Ong is set and the pitch. Whew, real close, just missed. 1-2 is the count on the off speed. So on the mound for UNLV. And as the 1-2 swung on a missed, strike 3. So Felix is able to set down Ross, who was 2 for 3 before that strikeout. 2 singles and a flyout. And another strikeout for this Rebels pitching staff. Jace Evangelista, his day is done, and he did a great job of keeping UNLV at least, you know, in shouting distance. 3 1/3 for Evangelista, 3 hits given up, 1 run. It was earned. A walk and 5 strikeouts. Tied a season high in strikeouts yet again for Evangelista. As the first pitch, this one's crushed high and deep to right field. This ball is well hit, going back at the wall, at the warning track, and it is going to be caught by Nin Burns the second. And oh man, Charlie Marion gave it a ride to right field. Up 375 out there in right center field, but just missed out on a solo home run, so a loud out number 2.
Center fielder, Dylan O'Connell.
They'll bring up Dylan O'Connell. O'Connell is 1 for 2 on the day. And the first pitch here by On is going to be taken high for a ball. 1-0 count. 9.44 ERA for Felix. Last time we saw him was on April 28th against Utah Tech. Scoreless inning, as this one's going to be ripped to right field yet again. But Burns, easy play for him. He's able to clamp it down for out number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Rebels as we go to the bottom of the 6th. UNLV and Milwaukee. The rubber matchup. Milwaukee currently on top, 6-2 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. White Tom check on the call, filling in for Matt and Drew Neverett. And we'll be back on Tuesday as UNLV will take on BYU. We want to mention this game is brought to you by Sierra Conditioning and Plumbing. Sierra Conditioning and Plumbing makes quality service our top priority and was voted best air conditioning company in Las Vegas. Our highly trained technicians will make sure the job is done right the first time. Sierra is here to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Sierra Conditioning and Plumbing today for service that soars above the rest. And talking about soaring, had about 3 players for Milwaukee soaring to that foul ball down the right field line, but it lands harmlessly out of play. I think all 3 lost their hats. Yes, that's a pretty impressive one there. Bozak, Marion, and Hadley, all 3 lost their hats as they were trying to track that one down the right field line. As Drew Berrigan up to bat. And with that, also, we want to note that we have a new pitcher here for Milwaukee. Aiden Fishnick is into the ball game. He's on the mound, 23 2/3 innings for Aiden. He's given up 28 hits, 24 runs, 12 of them earned, 14 walks, 13 strikeouts, 2 doubles, a triple, and 6 home runs allowed. The ERA is sitting at 4.56 and the whip at 1.77. Righty versus righty matchup as that one misses well outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. So the final stat line here for Riley Peterson, who's in line for the win. A great job of quieting down this UNLV offense. Back-to-back games as it stands right now. UNLV has been held in check. Peterson 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, a walk, as Berrigan sends a high drive into right field, but not well enough. Should be an easy play for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. To finish out for Peterson, gave up the 1 home run, that was to Berrigan, but faced 20 batters, 8 flyouts, 3 groundouts, 1 double play, 79 pitches, 48 of them have been for strikes. And they'll hand it to the bullpen, and they try to get the final few outs here as Lynn Burns the second will be up to bat. Burns is 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly and a line out to left field. As Fishnick is set, and the first pitch is going to be taken for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Last time we have seen Aiden was back on April 28th against Northwestern. Earlier this week, he went 1 inning. It did not go well for him. 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them were earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Saw the ERA balloon from 3.18 to 4.56. Other than that, he has been a reliable arm out of the pen for this Milwaukee team. Came in with the team ERA at 7.55. There's the 1-1. Inside, that's going to get Burns. It looked like Fishnick, and Burns will flip the bat. It looked like Aiden kind of slipped when I saw him there on the pitch, and I don't know if that affected to where it ran inside, as that'll bring up Johnny Rodriguez. That is going to be the second time the UNLV batter has been hit so far here today, as Rodriguez 0 for 2. Fly out to right and struck out in his last plate appearance. And now he gets the favorable righty versus lefty matchup. Prior to that, it was a lefty versus lefty matchup between him and Peterson. So Burns the second over at first. First pitch. And Rodriguez will foul this one out of play. 0-1 is the count. For Burns over at first base, he's 3 for 4 on stolen base opportunities. The Dwarfs, in comparison, UNLV being aggressive on the base paths to what we've seen with this Milwaukee team, not only this weekend, but throughout the entire season. Fishnick is set, and there's swing and a foul tip out of play. 0-2 is the count. Cooper Chef due up next, barring a double play. Rodriguez right now with the average at 261. With runners on, it's below right now of his overall average, sitting at 247. And UNLV today just 1 for 7 with runners on, as Rodriguez will foul this one out of play yet again. 0-2 is the count. When we go to the top of the 7th here for Milwaukee, they will have the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. Kibler, Spence, and Bozak. Fishnick looking for the strikeout, the 0-2 pitch. Off speed, a little bit high and outside. 1-2 is the count. A redshirt junior, hailing from the state of Wisconsin. He's got the count 1-2, looking for the strikeout. Gets it there. Rodriguez, big swing and a miss, and comes up empty. 2 outs now here in the top of the 6th inning. Back-to-back plate appearances for Rodriguez that he's been set down on strikes, as Cooper Chef will be up to bat, the sophomore. He is 0 for 2 today. And for Fishnick, that is going to be his 14th strikeout of the 2026 campaign. For UNLV, they have struck out 4 times. In comparison, Milwaukee, they have struck out 7. 5 of them were credited to Evangelista, as the first pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Chef on the year, 302 average, with runners on hitting 319, and with 2 outs, 304. So very healthy statistics in this situation, as that one misses outside. 1-1 is the count. UNLV today as a team just 0 for 4 with 2 outs. In comparison to Milwaukee, who have gotten some clutch 2-out hitting that have led to some runs scored, 5 for 11. And runner going, that is Burns the second. He's going to slide in safely. It didn't matter because that ball got away from Spence. Didn't come close off the arm there of Fishnick. And Burns, see, it'd probably get credited with a stolen base there. It'll be his 4th stolen base of the 2026 campaign. So Sheff will try to get a 2-out hit to try to get UNLV within 3 here. Cooper has 8 home runs on the year. 2 outs. And now the count 2-2 as Cooper did not like that outside strike call. Count even 2-2, 2 outs. UNLV scored a run in the 1st and a run in the 4th. Milwaukee scored 5 of their 6 runs in the first 2 innings off the starting pitcher, Josh Donegan. The 2-2 pitch is a little dribbler over to second. Should be an easy play for Bozak. Takes his time, throws it to first. And UNLV's threat is avoided yet again. Back-to-back innings, UNLV's got runners in scoring position, but nothing to show for it as we go to the top of the 7th. Milwaukee leads UNLV 6-2 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Top 7, Milwaukee on top of UNLV 6-2 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. My Tom Check on the call, filling in for Matt and Drew Nevern. I want to mention this game is brought to you by Parkway Tavern. Parkway Tavern, official partner of UNLV Athletics and your official home of Rebels on the Road with over 250 beers, 24/7 gaming, and 7 Valley locations. There's no better place to catch the game than Parkway Tavern. Go Rebels. Top of the 7th, first pitch is fouled back out of play by Dominic Kibler. The DH is 1 for 2. A single in his first plate appearance, walk in his second go around, and then flew out to left field last time up. And as that one misses on the outside, 1-1 is the count. Felix Ong back out for his second inning of work. It was quick work for him. Only 8 pitches he had to throw in the top of the 6th. The Rebels still trail at 6-2. UNLV's threat in the last 2 innings got runners in the scoring position. But yet again, the Rebels have not been able to get the clutch hitting. Is that one high? 2-1 is the count. UNLV 1 for 9 today with runners on. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 5 with 2 outs. In comparison to the Panthers of Milwaukee, they're 6 for 14 with runners on. 3 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And 5 for 11 with 2 outs. The 2-1 here from Felix. It's going to be taken high. 3-1 is a count. And for Ong, who's at the ERA at 9.35. Really, you know, the beginning part of the season for him, he had his struggles. One of the games he had against Air Force, 3 2/3, gave up 10 runs. They were all earned, and it will draw a leadoff walk here, does Milwaukee. So Felix gives up his 36th walk of the year. And that's probably the more concerning part there is a lot of free passes. Almost a walk per inning. As Joey Spence will be up to bat So Kibler is able to make it to first base for the third time in this ball game, a single and 2 walks. Spence up to bat. Righty versus lefty matchup, and the first pitch is crushed to right field, but foul. Well, foul, and it will land on top of the practice facility for the UNLV baseball team. The Hustlin' Rebels will be back in action on Tuesday against BYU. Milwaukee will make the trip back home after this one. Actually have a hard out where no inning will start after 2:30 if we get to that point. It's the 0-1. This one's going to be taken down low. 1-1 is the count. For the catcher, Spence struck out in his first 2 plate appearances, but was able to make contact the last go around to center field. Still looking for his first hit. Trying to avoid a hat trick. Right now the count is 1-1. The pitch here from Ong. Actually, no, it'll be a throw to first. Trying to get a pickoff move there to get Kibler out. So as we mentioned, UNLV continuing to threaten, but they have not got the clutch hitting. They will send the bottom of the lineup in the bottom of the 7th. 7, 8, 9 hitters, Hurdle, Garcia, and Myro. Hurdle's had a good game. He is 2 for 2. As that one will miss outside. 2-1 is the count. And after the Tuesday game against BYU, basically UNLV, they're in postseason mode. They need to, not to say win out, but they have to at least take 4 of the next 6. There's a bouncer to second. Actually, nope, it's a foul ball. Landed foul. I think bounced off the foot there of Spence, who is taking a little bit of time to kind of shake things off. But for UNLV, you want to say about, at worst, 4 of the next 6 that you win to try to get into the conference tournaments. The top 6 teams that make it into the tournament, and UNLV is currently 1 game behind GCU as it stands. And the Rebels have a favorable series next weekend against Fresno State, who has just 1 win in conference play. 12-31-1 has been a frustrating year for the Bulldogs. UNLV, that's a series they got to get a sweep. As the 2-2. Down low, trying to get Spence to chase, unable to. 3-2's the count. And then, you know, to end the regular season out, you got a tough one against San Diego State, who is 12-5 in conference play. They are 29-18. All 6 of those games will be available on the Mountain West Network. And there's a pickoff move yet again. And for Milwaukee right now, they're currently 10-8 in conference play. They're currently sitting 2nd in the conference standings for them. They've been playing their best baseball as of lately. Also challenging themselves with a lot of P4s. Runners goes, and this one's going to be sent foul. And we'll do it all over again with the count 3-2 here. Battle between Spence and Ong. Bozak due up next. Kibler over at first, reaching base via the walk. That's the 4th walk that the Panthers have been able to get so far here today. And for UNLV, they've only been able to get 1 walk. It was the leadoff batter. It was Reggie Bussey in the bottom of the 1st. Another pickoff move. As we mentioned, Bozak due up next. He is 1 for 3 on the day. All but 1 hitter in this lineup has not gotten a hit. And it's currently the man who is up right now, when Joey Spence. Runner goes yet again on a 3-2. This one's going to go to Rodriguez. He'll touch the bag. But with the runner in motion, that works out in the Panthers' favor. As that is a 3 unassisted. Kibler is able to go to second for out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. But a runner in scoring position and a very important insurance run here for the Panthers. Bozak will be up to bat. As mentioned, 1 for 3 on the day. Ross has the lone multi-hit performance. So Spence now 0 for 4. Still the only batter in this lineup without a base hit. And the off-speed dropped in perfectly for a strike. 0-1 is the count. For Felix, kind of his pitch repertoire. Fastball sits around 97, 95. Cutter around 88, 90. Sweeper low 80s. Changeup upper 80s. And that will be dropped in yet again for a strike. 0-2 is the count. So give credit to, UNLV. The bullpen has kept the Rebels alive. It's only given up the 1 run since Donegan was pulled from the game in the 2nd. The 0-2. This one's crushed, though, high and deep into center field. Going over to his right is Bussey, and Bussey is able to clamp it down for out number 2. It looked like that way that sounded and went off the bat. That was going to go a lot farther than I thought it was going to be, but it was an easier play for Bussey getting into the gap there in left center field. 2 outs. Now here in the top of the 7th, as John Hadley will be up to bat. And looks like we're going to get a mound visit here for UNLV to kind of discuss the strategy. Pivotal moment. It's been the area where, as I mentioned, Milwaukee has really feasted on today. 2 outs, 5 for 11, 455 average, 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position, overall 6 for 16 with runners on. Where UNLV has only gotten 1 hit with runners on, and it happened back at the bottom of the 1st. That was Berrigan who was able to get the single that moved Bussey over to third base. So Kibler at second. Hadley up to bat, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Lined out to center field in his first plate appearance. Walked in his second go around, got a stolen base, and then started that little mini rally against Evangelista with 2 outs in the top of the 5th, a double, and then he came around to score on the double by Christian Holmes, who was on deck right now.
Now at the plate for the Panthers, first baseman, number 6, John Hadley.
So Hadley 1 for 2 on the day, as mentioned. His first appearance this weekend. Long is set. This one up in the air into shallow right center field. Coming on in is Burns. He's unable to get it. The runner advancing home. The throw is going to be a little high, and it's another clutch 2-out RBI hit here for the Panthers. On a little bit of a jam shot there, Hadley able to get a second base hit to right field. And with 2 outs, runner in motion, Kibler is able to score and make the score now 7-2 here on the top of the 7th. Christian Holmes up to bat. And you kind of knew where that ball was tracking right off the bat, that was going to be trouble in between Burns and Rosales. Long will try to limit the damage to just the 1 run. The first pitch is in there for a strike. Make the count 0-1 here. Still 2 outs, and yet again, there is 6 for 12 today. Milwaukee has just been lights out with 2 outs. Clutch hitting, 500 average. 6 of their 10 hits today with 2 outs. Pickoff move over at first. Now Hadley at first, who has stolen 7 bases so far this season. Palkowski due up next if Holmes can keep this inning alive. Runner goes. This one sent high up into the air in the left center field. Going back is Bussey, and he's able to track it down for out number 3 just in front of the warning track. But yet again, another clutch 2-out hit here for the Panthers of Milwaukee. They add 1 more run. They lead it 7-2. So we go to the bottom of the 7th here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium.
Number 3, Jaden Hurdle.
Jaden Hurdle will lead it off for the Hustlin' Rebels in the bottom of the 7th, and UNLV's deficit now has increased to 5. Milwaukee 7 runs so far, 5 runs in the first 2 innings. Able to get about 2 now against the relief staff for the Rebels, as Hurdle up to bat will take the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Jaden, the left fielder today, has had a good game. 2 singles, one of them bounced off the glove of Bozak on a Herculean effort, as that one dropped in there for a strike. 1-1 is the count. And the last time Hurdle was up, he sent it down the third base line, a gamble by Ross, and it bounced off the bag. But Hurdle was stranded. UNLV has threatened the last 2 innings. They've got runners on the base pass, but as mentioned, no clutch hits for the Rebels in this one, as the count is 2-1. Aiden Fishnick back out for his second inning of work. So you've got Hurdle, Garcia, and Myro due up here, and Hurdle kind of got fooled on that one. 2-2 is the count. The pitch there by Fishnick. 2-2 is the count. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. UNLV has got to find a way to get at least a couple runs here to get some momentum back on their side, as they have trailed this one from the beginning. That one misses down low. The count goes full 3-2. Hurdle, when leading off in innings so far this season, 278, below his 330 average, but a good performance there for Jaden. Count is full 3-2. And this one's going to be sent into right field for a base hit. Number 3 on the roster, Jaden Hurdle, now has his 3rd hit of the ball game. He has 3 of the 5 hits for the Rebels, and yet again UNLV, as the ball gets away momentarily on the throwback to the pitcher Fishnick. Hurdle was over at first taking all the stuff out. So that ball got away. If Hurdle noticed that, he would have been over at second. So Panthers breathe a sigh of relief as that errant throw back in. So Aiden Garcia will be up to bat. Garcia came in to pitch hit in the last go-around for Talixon. And Garcia flew out to left field as they'll take the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Fishnick is set, and the next pitch a little bit inside. Now count 2-0 to a very dangerous hitter in Aiden Garcia, who has crushed 8 home runs this year, 36 RBIs. And it don't sound like a broken record, but UNLV still 1 for 9 with runners on. They've got to find a way to get the clutch hitting going. Garcia showing bunt, pulls back, and it's going to be taken for a strike. 2-1 here, nobody out. Garcia on the year with runners on, 325 average. Milwaukee, who dropped the first game to UNLV 14-4. The Rebels won it after 8 innings. Able to run rule of the Panthers, and then yesterday a 4-1 win for Milwaukee. First ever against the Rebels, as this one's popped up to left field. In play, now going into foul territory, and it's going to be caught. Long run there for Palikowski, who was able to clamp it down in foul territory for out number 1. And Gunnar Myro will be up to bat. And yet again, UNLV still unable to get a base hit with somebody on the base paths. Myro is 0 for 1 on the day. Hurdle over at first. He's only attempted 1 stolen base. He's 1 for 1 on the year. As the first pitch here to Myro is going to ride inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Myro is like, well, let's start throwing this a little bit more over the plate after he got hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. First time around, he popped up to second base. A 1-0. So we'll be taken down low for a ball. 2-0 is the count. Myro is in his 3rd season at UNLV. He's currently on an 8-game hitting streak. 322 average when it started, is now up to 344 coming into this game, now down to 341. As this one will be taken down low in a favorable hitters count here. 3-0 the count to Garcia, or sorry to Myro. 12 multi-hit performances for Myro on the year. And I'll take that one all the way for a strike. 3-1 is the count here. One person warming up in the bullpen for Milwaukee if things start to go awry here for Fishnick. I'm probably got to think his leash will be 2 innings, as he'll give up the walk. And for the 3rd straight inning, UNLV has got a runner in scoring position. Just the 2nd walk that the Rebels have been able to get so far today. Myro picks up the walk. That is going to be his 6th walk of the season. We go back to the top of the lineup, Reggie Bussey. And I believe we might have a pitching change here for the Panthers of Milwaukee. Maybe not, maybe not. Everybody was starting to come on in to the infield to kind of get the conference call, but it's just, I believe, just kind of a regular mound visit to discuss the strategy. As UNLV, they need these 2 runners on the base paths to somehow find a way to score. Can they get it within a shouting distance? They're down by 5. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bussey is 0 for 2 on the day. Walked in his first plate appearance and struck out his last 2. But all those performances, or all those plate appearances, came against Riley Peterson, the lefty. Now it's a righty versus lefty matchup, more favorable matchup here for Bussey. So Fishnick, who gave up the single and a walk, his first hit given up out of the pen and the first walk, and he misses badly on that one. 1-0 is the count. For Bussey with runners on so far this season, 292 average, runners in scoring position. He's sitting at 250. 31 hits on the year. And he'll take the next pitch high. 2-0 is the count. Looked like that was going to be good. You probably heard the the crowd saying, "Oh, it was a good pitch." Felt like that was going to be a strike, but the home plate umpire, Jim Courtney, said no. 2-0 is the count. Favorable hitters count here to Bussey. The 2-0. That one will drop in for a strike on the 86-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-1 is the count. Earl at second, Myro at first. Almost an exact UNLV situation that the Rebels got in the bottom of the 5th. As Bussey will take this one high and makes the count 3-1. You've got Marcos Rosales due up next. Rosales has had a quiet night so far. 0 for 3. Berrigan, who's been, after Hurdle, has been the best hitter for UNLV with that solo home run he had. And Bussey's going to send this one to second. Potential double play ball. No. Throw. No, there'll be no throw. Nobody covering first. Bussey is able to beat it out as Bozak charging. Hadley and Fishnick had a little bit of a miscommunication over at first. Bussey with great speed. Everybody's safe. And the bases are now juiced here for UNLV. Marcos Rosales will now be up to bat, and the Rebels, best scoring threat for them. Obviously, Berrigan had the home run, but since that first inning when UNLV got runners at first and third with 1 out, can the Rebels put up a huge spot here? Down by 5. The tying run is on deck. Fishnick is set, and the pitch can be dropped in for a strike. 0-1 is the count here to Rosales, who is 0 for 3 on the day. A line out to second, to base hit that was taken away by Bozak. Fly out to left and a ground out to third. 0-1 is the count. The pitch. Rosales fouls it out of play, and now down to the count 0-2. For Marcos on the year, with runners on 353, runners in scoring position 358, and with the bases loaded, he is sitting at a 400 average, all above his overall average of 322. Fishnick is set. The 0-2. Gets it on the outside, part of the zone, strike 3, and Rosales can't believe it. And he'll make the slow trek back over to the dugout, and a big-time pitch there by Aiden Fishnick. And now it'll be up to Drew Berrigan for the Rebels here in the bottom of the 7th. Berrigan is 2 for 3 on the day, a single, a home run, and then he flew out to right field in his last go-around. Bases juice for the Rebels, who desperately need a run here, down by 5. Hurdle at third, Myro at second, Bussey at first. The first pitch misses well outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. For Milwaukee, as they're holding their breaths here, they will have the 9-1 and 2 hitters due up in the 8th inning. And the off-speed dropped in for a strike. 1-1 is the count. Balkowski, Ross, and Marion will be up to bat. 1-1 here to Berrigan is going to be taken high for a ball. 2-1 is the count. You got Ninburns the second due up next if Berrigan can keep this inning alive. Rebels so far in this inning, 2 hits and a walk. Favorable hitters count here for Berrigan. The pitch. Ooh, it's called on the outside. 2-2 is the count. Now you hear the groans from the UNLV fans. 2-2, the count, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Hustlin' Rebels. Trailing by 5. Fishnick is set. A 2-2 inside, almost got Berrigan. And now the count has run full 3-2. Everybody will be in motion here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Pivotal moment in this ball game. 3-2's the count, bases loaded, the payoff pitch. Misses outside, ball 4, and Berrigan is able to draw the walk, and he picks up his 2nd RBI of the day. And UNLV has got it now within 4, 7-3, and it looks like that will be the end of the line here for Aiden Fishnick, who has given up 2 hits and has walked 2. Pitching change here for the Panthers of Milwaukee as the tying run coming up to plate for UNLV. Bases remain juiced for the Rebels. We'll take a quick break and be right back here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium on the YouTube broadcast provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in the bottom of the 7th. High pressure moment. UNLV does get 1 run across the board via the bases loaded walk. Ninburns the second will be up to that, and it'll be Cullen Real who will be on the mound here for the Panthers. He has a 6.75 ERA, 2-0 is his record. He's thrown 16 innings, 21 hits given up, 15 runs, 12 of them earned, 16 walks, 12 strikeouts, 8 doubles, 1 home run, and has hit 7 batters. And he is ahead of the count of Burns for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Last time we have seen Cullen was back on April 29th against Notre Dame, and it was not a performance that he would like out of the pen, as Bussey sends a high drive right center field. This ball is well hit, going back at the wall, and it is caught at the warning track. Oh man, Ninburns the second almost tied this game up. He went to right center field, and it dies out at the warning track. And the Rebels unable to get that big inning that they were hoping for. They get one across the board as we go to the top of the 8th. 7-3, Milwaukee on top of UNLV here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomchek on the call. We want to mention this game is brought to you by Intermountain Health. Intermountain Health is here to help you live the healthiest life possible. As the official healthcare partner of UNLV Athletics, Intermountain Health is dedicated to promoting health and wellness in our community. Well, UNLV got the bases loaded. They do get a run across, but man, Min burns the second as there's a swing and a miss on the first pitch here in the top of the 8th. Thought he had the potential game-tying grand slam, but it dies out on the warning track out in right center field. Marion is able to clamp it down as the count here is 0-1 to the number 9 hitter. As a new pitcher for UNLV, make it 0-2. Colton Sunloff, a righty with a 5.25 ERA, whip at 1.42. 2-0 is his record, 24 innings of work, 22 hits, 15 runs, 14 of them have been earned, 12 walks to 21 strikeouts. He's given up 7 doubles and 1 home run on the year. He's hit 5 batters. Looking for the strikeout, the 0-2. Gets it on the outside, part of the zone, strike 3. So Sunloff out of the pen. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, gets the first out. Palikowski is set down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cade, who's now 1 for 4. And you go back to the top of the lineup here with Grant Ross, who is 2 for 4 on the day. So UNLV yet again threaten. They finally get a hit with a runner on. That was that infield hit by Bussey. 2 for 3 with runners on today for UNLV. 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Still 0 for 6 with 2 outs as that one missed badly. 1-0 is the count. For UNLV in the bottom of the 8th. They will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. As the wind's starting to pick up here at Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Clouds starting to roll in a little bit here. The temperature hovering around 80 degrees as the count 2-0. So Aiden Fishnick, who came in to replace Riley Peterson, he will finish out his stat line 1 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, and he tells Colin Reel, thank you so much, as that one's ripped to left field. That ball is well hit. It's going to land for a base hit, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Heading to second will be Ross, and he's going to dive in safely with a 1-out double. The third baseman now has 3 for 5 on the day. Good performance for him. 2 singles and now a double as Milwaukee will try to get that run back that they just gave up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Coming up to bat here will be Charlie Marion, who was 1 for 4 on the day. Got the scoring going back in the top of the first. An RBI triple down the right field line. And then since then, he has grounded out to first base, struck out, and flown out to right field. His first appearance or matchup here against Sunloff. 1 out, first pitch. It's going to be taken high for a ball. 1-0 is the count for Colton. Last time we have seen him in a ball game for the Hustlin' Rebels. You go back a couple days ago against this Milwaukee team. He went a third of an inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, and also had 2 walks. This one set high up in the air to right field. Watch out for all the pigeons over there as he got about a gaggle of them, and it's going to be caught by Burns. Tagging from second to third. It's a good throw. Play at third is in time. Oh, what a throw. My, oh, my. Nin Burns the second on a ball that was up in the air for a country mile. He had to battle the pigeons out in right field, and that is a double play to end it. Ross gunned down, trying to tag from second to third, and UNLV gets a momentum boosting play as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Right now, the Rebels trail this one 7-3 here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium, bottom 8, UNLV down to their final 6 outs as they trail this one 7-3 after a heck of a play there by Nin Burns II to gun down Grant Ross, trying to go from second to third, battling the pigeons down the right field line. Just want to mention this game is brought to you by Finley Toyota. Finley Toyota, or after the game or anytime, visit or click Finley Auto. Finley Toyota is the largest Toyota dealer in Nevada. Ask for John Barr. He'll do anything to sell you a car. UNLV would like to buy some runs here in the bottom of the 8th as they trail it 7-3. Cullen Reel back out for his second inning of work. He got the loud out number 3 on the long fly ball by Burns to right center field with the bases loaded. And able to hold on to the lead 7-3 as Milwaukee's going for the series win against the Rebels. UNLV took the first game 14-4 yesterday. It was Milwaukee's turn to celebrate a win as they won it 4-1. 1-1 pitch is going to be taken down low. 2-1 is the count here to Johnny Rodriguez, who is 0 for 3 on the day. You got Rodriguez, Sheff, and Hurdle. Rodriguez and Sheff combined 0 for 6, but Hurdle has had a great game. 3 for 3 on the day. He has 3 of the 6 hits for the Rebels. 2-1. Rodriguez rips this one foul down the right field line. He was all over that one, but too early. Count is 2-2, but what a play there by Nin Burns II. I mean, just what a beautiful throw. Great tag over at third by Myro to get the speedster Grant out. That is not an easy throw, as Rodriguez will foul this one out of play. Can that get UNLV some momentum on their side? And the Rebels have put a ton of traffic on the base paths here over the last 3 innings. But as mentioned, no real big clutch hitting. They did get the 1 run via the bases loaded walk. Berrigan now has 2 RBIs on the day, 49 on the year. And Rodriguez unable to connect. Rodriguez now has the hat trick as he has struck out in his last 3 plate appearances, 0 for 4, and now Cooper Sheff. They'll be up to bat with the UNLV down to their final 5 outs here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Sheff grounded out to short in his first plate appearance, fly out to center, and then a ground out to second. Cooper right now has the average at .301. He has a hit in 4 straight games, so in danger of having that snapped right now as the first pitch. He's going to miss well outside for a ball, 1-0's the count. For Milwaukee, in the top of the 9th, they will have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up: O'Connell, Kibler, and Spence. Reel is set, the 1-0, and that one's going to be ripped into left field for a base hit. Cooper Sheff now has his hitting streak up to 5 games. Gets his first hit of the ball game. And that's the 7th hit overall today for UNLV. Another base runner on the base paths as the Rebels try to start the rally as Jaden Hurdle will be up to bat. Hurdle's had a dandy of a game today. He's 3 for 3 on the day. All 3 hits have been singles for the left fielder. He has 2 home runs on the year, 22 RBIs. Aiden Garcia due up next. The first pitch here to Hurdle is going to be dropped in for a strike. Beautiful slider there, backdoor slider or front door slider to Hurdle. Got Sheff over at first. He has 5 stolen bases this year. I don't think UNLV is going to try to chance anything. How precious the base runners are with how little time left. 1-1 is the count. And as mentioned, Garcia due up next. Aiden came in to pitch it in the 5th inning. He's 0 for 2 currently right now. The 1-1. This is well outside and down low. 2-1 is the count. Reel is the 3rd pitcher used here by the Panthers. Milwaukee used 4 in the loss on Friday, where they gave up 14 runs. And yesterday, in their great performance holding UNLV to just 1 run, 3 guys came out of the pen. 2-2 is the count, 1 out. Hurdle, the sophomore. We at one point had a 10-game hitting streak, 9 games. Now 10 games, my apologies, with a multi-hit performance. 3 hits today, trying to go for a perfect 4 for 4. He's had 3 singles, and he swings and misses at that one. Chases it outside the zone. A big strikeout there for Reel. And it's now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Aiden Garcia will be up to bat. The struggles continue for UNLV with runners on. Make it 2 for 14 for the Rebels. In comparison for the Panthers, they're 7 for 19. Can UNLV get their first 2-out hit? Panthers 6 for 13, Rebels 0 for 6. Garcia 0 for 2. And he attacks the first pitch, pops it up behind the plate, up the chute, is gonna stay in play. It is caught by Spence, and Garcia is set down. A 1-out hit by UNLV, but nothing across the board. We go to the top of the 9th, last chance for the Panthers to get some insurance runs as they lead it 7-3 here on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics.
O'Connell.
Top 9, 7-3, Milwaukee on top of UNLV. Why top check on the call, filling in for Matt and Drew Neverett. We want to mention this game is brought to you by Heaven Hills Brands. Heaven Hills Brands, proud sponsor of UNLV Athletics. New pitcher here for the Rebels as the first pitch is going to be taken high for a ball. 1-0 is the count, is Jacob Gomberg. The lefty, the junior, standing 5'10" from Coral Springs, Florida. We'll get an opportunity here in the ninth to try to keep the deficit at 4. As the off-speed dropped in perfectly for his strike. 1-1 is the count. Dylan O'Connell up to bat. O'Connell is 1 for 3. Sacrifice fly, single, strikeout, and a line out to right field. For Gomberg, right now, he has not had the season that he would like to. The ERA 11.05 as he gets the off-speed pitch. Did just miss on that one. I thought that was going to be a strike. 2-1 is the count. The whip at 2.05. 0-4 is his record. He does have 2 saves, 14 2/3, 17 hits given up, 21 runs, 18 of them earned, 13 walks to 17 strikeouts as the 2-1 pitch. This one gets away and bounces off the glove of Garcia, but no harm, no foul, nobody on the base paths. 3, 4, and 5 hitters here for the Panthers, for UNLV as they try to mount the comeback in the bottom of the ninth. It will be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters, Myro, Bussy, and Rosales. 3-1. So it's going to be taken high, ball 4. So out of the pen, Gomberg gives up the walk. And O'Connell will head on over to first, and that is not who UNLV wants to see on the base paths. O'Connell has just been lethal this year. Panthers have been very active on the base paths in this game. Dominic Kibler will be up to bat. Kibler's 1 for 2 on the day. A single, a walk, fly out to left, and then another walk that came back in the 7th inning. And for UNLV, this is the 5th pitcher that they have used today. Remember, Josh Donegan did not go as the first pitch. This one's going to get away. Now throw back to first. They might have a pickoff. No, it was dropped by Rodriguez. No, they get him out on the swipe back. Wow, it looked like, from my vantage point, that Rodriguez dropped the ball over there at first. Great throw by Garcia as O'Connell got too far out in front, away from the bag. And UNLV, that walk is erased, and just what the doctor prescribed for the Rebels. As now Kibler will have to bat here with 1 out. As that one will be fouled back out of play. Oh, for UNLV, 5 pitchers. Donegan did not go far in his outing. Went 1 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. Evangelista was able to stop the bleeding. Did a great job out of the pen. Felix Ong as well. He gave up 1 run in 2 innings. Sunloff out of the pen. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, and gave up a strikeout, faced 3 batters, a double, and was helped out by that great catch and throw by Ninburns II over in right field. 1-1 is the count here. A little bit of a stoppage of play as Kibler is set, the designated hitter. Now Joey Spence due up next. Spence is the only hitter in this lineup for Milwaukee who has not gotten a base hit today. As this one's fouled back out of play. As winds are starting to pick up, you got more clouds kind of rolling in. As I mentioned, it has been a beautiful day weather-wise. Right now as it stands here, 89 degrees, but the winds are starting to pick up. It's supposed to get cold tomorrow, colder tomorrow for the Tuesday game against BYU. If you're heading out to Early Wilson Stadium, pack a jacket. As this one looks like it got Kibler. It did on the right. No, it's
What?
umpire is saying that it hit off the bat. Kibler's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It got me on the right hand.
Oh, that's awful.
And you can kind of hear the crowd saying, don't agree with it, the Milwaukee fans. Actually, they're going to say, they call them out. They're saying that Kibler stuck his elbow out, so he's called out. So a couple miscues here for Milwaukee have led to 2 outs here, and some gifts for the Rebels. As Joey Spence, last chance here for the Panthers to try to get some insurance runs. 2 outs now in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch high, good catch there by Garcia. 1-0 is the count. Gomberg, the lefty. Coming, this one is fastball, hover around 93 to 95, has a slider changeup. And this one's popped up out of play. And the count will go to 1-1. 2 outs here. The rubber match between the Rebels and the Panthers. Hustlin' Rebels took the first game 14-4. Second game, though, Milwaukee defeats UNLV 4-1. UNLV coming into this ball game 25-21. Milwaukee 16-28, but then playing their best baseball as of lately. Off-speed pitch dropped in perfectly for a strike. 1-2 is the count. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Spence, who has struck out his first 2 plate appearances, flew out to center and then grounded out to first his last time up. The lefty versus lefty matchup. Gomberg looking for the strikeout. The 1-2 pitch. Gets it. Trails back into the strike zone. A backwards K for Jacob Gomberg, who is able to put up a 0 spot, helped out by a couple blunders by the Panthers. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for UNLV. They trail this one 7-3 here on the YouTube broadcast provided to us by UNLV Athletics. Last chance here for the Rebels as they are in danger of dropping this series to the Panthers of Milwaukee. Gunnar Myro will lead it off for the Rebels. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Popped up to second. Was hit by a pitch and walked. 9-1-2 hitters. Myro, Bussey, and Rosales. And they're facing off against a new pitcher, Lucas Watson, wearing number 55. And his first pitch will be taken down low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. For Watson, the ERA at 7.31, the whip at 2.06. 0-1 is his record. 16 innings of work. He's given up 18 hits, 16 runs, 13 of them earned, 15 walks, 18 strikeouts, 1 triple, and 3 home runs allowed. And he's back in the strike zone. 1-1 is the count. Has also hit 3 batters. Well, UNLV's had the opportunities. 15 plate appearances today for UNLV with runners on. Just 2 hits. That 7th inning looked like the Rebels might have a great chance to get back in this game, as this one's going to be sent up the middle. Base hit past the diving Holmes. And Gunnar Myro picks up his first hit of the ball game. Number 43 on the year. And that extends his hitting streak, by the way, to 9 games, as Reggie Bussey will be up to bat. Bussey has reached base twice, a walk and a single. That was his first and 4th plate appearance that we have seen Bussey, mixed in with 2 strikeouts. So Watson gives up the leadoff single past the diving glove of Holmes. As mentioned, the Rebels got to find a way to get some consistency with runners on, as the first pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 is count. for Watson. He pitched on Friday when a third of an inning gave up one hit, a run. It was earned. So the ERA go up to 7.31 as that one is in there for a strike. He had 2 appearances against Wright State. Not a save situation here, by the way, with UNLV on top by 4. 1-1 is the count here to Bussey. And make it 2-1. Good stop behind the plate there by Spence. Keeps Myro over at first. Myro 1 for 2 on stolen base opportunities this year, but as I mentioned, with UNLV down to the final 3 outs, don't want to chance it, and you're down by 4. Don't expect the Rebels to be that aggressive on the base paths. As Marcos Rosales due up next. Favorable hitters count, 2-1. Bussey's gonna rip this one. Fair down the right field line for a base hit. It's gonna go all the way to the wall. Myro hits the third. They're gonna wave Myro home. Bussey's gonna go to third with an RBI triple as he slides in safely. A single and a triple on the Rebels are within 3. It is 7-4 as Reggie Bussey picks up his 2nd triple of the year, an RBI number 15. And Marcos Rosales up to bat. And the Rebels hit their 3rd base hit with runners on. And the start that UNLV wanted. A single, a triple, still nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 9th, 7-4 now. Milwaukee's lead down to 3. Tying run is on deck. Rosales is 0 for 4 on the day. He struck out his last plate appearance. This one's going to get away. It's down the 3rd baseline, but Bussey is just going to slowly back to 3rd. Rosales is 0 for 4. Remember, he had a base hit taken away by Bozak on a diving catch at 2nd in the 1st inning. He has flown out to left, grounded out to 3rd, and his last plate appearance, he struck out. That strikeout happened with a bases juice. Drew Berrigan is due up next. 1-0 from Watson to Rosales. On the inside, almost got Marcos. And now the count is 2-0. So for UNLV, that was their 2nd extra base hit of the ball game. And now a home run and a triple. 2-0 is the count. Watson trying to get back in the strike zone. It doesn't happen there. 3-0. Do have somebody throwing in the bullpen for the Panthers of Milwaukee. And remember, no inning can start after 2:30 due to the travel restrictions here for Milwaukee to head back home, as this one's going to miss high and outside, ball 4, and the tying run is coming to the plate here. A single, a triple, a walk. Drew Berrigan, who's already launched 1 long ball today, and that will be the end of the line for Lucas Watson out of the pen. He does not get an out, gives up a run. He's going to be on the hook for the 2 runners on the base paths. Pitching change for the Panthers. We'll be right back here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium. 7-4, Milwaukee on top. Back here live at Earl E. Wilson Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wyatt Tomchek on the call. High pressure situation in this one as the Rebels came in down by 4. They've gotten a single, a triple, a walk. Pitching change here as Lucas Watson is out. Mason Weckler is in, wearing number 34. Weckler, who is a 9.20 ERA, the whip at 1.88. He'll face off against Drew Berrigan, who has a home run in this one, and will now be down in the count 0-1. For Weckler, who is on the year 0-5, 29 and a third innings of work, 42 hits, 39 runs, 30 of them have been earned. 30 of those runs have been earned, 13 walks, 27 strikeouts. As Berrigan will take this one on the outside for a ball. 1-1 is the count. 27 strikeouts for Weckler. He's given up 9 doubles, 3 triples, 3 home runs, and has hit 8 batters. Rosales today, 2 RBIs, 2 for 3. It's the 1-1. He's going to lift this one high, deep, left field. That ball is gone! Good God Almighty, what a blast by Drew Berrigan. And the Rebels have tied it up in the bottom of the ninth, and we still have nobody out. Man, oh man, what a rocket shot by Drew Berrigan. And the Rebels have tied it up. Nin Burns, the second, due up on the second home run of the day by the senior. 11 home runs on the year. 52 RBIs now, 5 RBIs today for Drew. And a brand new ball game, 7-all, as the Rebels score 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth. On a 1-1 count, Berrigan, a no-doubt home run. As that one will miss on the outside. 2-0 is the count, and now Milwaukee, all of the momentum is on UNLV's side. Can the Rebels get a walk-off win? Burns on the day is 0 for 2. Sacrifice fly was hit by a pitch in one of his plate appearances, lined out to left and flew out to right. And he is ahead in the count 3-0 with Johnny Rodriguez due up next. So Weckler gives up the home run, his 4th home run of the year. And he's able to drop in a strike. 3-1 is the count. You hear the groans from the UNLV fans. And so for Lucas Watson, out of the pen, 2 hits given up, 3 overall runs credited to him. Still nobody out. Favorable hitters count here, the 3-1. Misses outside ball 4, and Burns is able to draw the walk. Second time he has reached base. And Johnny Rodriguez, who has not had the performance that he would like today, 0 for 4, has the hat trick, but can make amends for that and try to walk it off for UNLV. And with Drew Berrigan now 3 for 4 on the day, he has got the average up to an even 400 on one of the most electrifying home runs I've seen here at Earl E. Wilson. Still nobody out. And Rodriguez will send this one back into the netting. 0-1 is the count. Johnny flew out to right field in his first go-around. And as I mentioned, he struck out the last 3. Cooper Chef on deck. And now with UNLV, you know, with Burns, he's, you know, now UNLV with a tie, nobody out. They can probably be aggressive on the base paths. You see Burns bouncing around there as Rodriguez. Chopper over to second. It takes a wicked bounce. Burns is going to take the turn. He's going to head to third. And UNLV's got runners on the corners with nobody out. Still here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A wicked bounce over on the right-hand side. And Cooper Chef has an opportunity to be the hero for the Rebels. Chef 1 for 4 on the day. Burns, as we mentioned, with the great speed. As that took a wicked bounce, it went into right field. Burns never stopped running. Defense in on the infield, no run defense. The Panthers, who are 3 outs away from taking the series against UNLV, now need a lucky prayer answered. His runner's going to go to second, and a big swing and a miss by Chef Rodriguez. Advance is over. Milwaukee will concede that runner to second. They don't care about Rodriguez at second. The one they care about is Burns over at third. Chef 1 for 4. He singled in his last plate appearance. 0-1 is the count. Weckler set. This one's going to be set into center field for a base hit. And the hustling Rebels walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. They take the series. They score 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Cooper Chef, the hero. And the Rebels win it 8-7, improved to 26-21 on the year. While the Panthers of Milwaukee fall to 16-29 as Cooper Chef getting mobbed by his team out in center field. And UNLV, after their struggles with runners on, they had just 2 hits with runners on in the first 8 innings of this game. They get 3 base hits with runners on. And the Rebels win this one and get some momentum on their side before they head to the final 6 games in conference play to try to make a push to make the Mountain West tournament. They will play BYU tomorrow, or on Tuesday, my apologies. Then a 3-game series against Fresno State and a 3-game series against San Diego State. But how about that for UNLV? I know Cooper Chef is the hero, but it was Drew Berrigan, the team MVP, the game MVP in this one. Berrigan went 3 for 4, a solo home run, an RBI walk, and then the game-tying, no doubt, 3-run home run that tied it up. And UNLV did all this with nobody out. One note offensively, they did give Bozak an error on the hit by Johnny Rodriguez. That moved Burns over to third base. So the Rebels win this one and improve to 26-21. They take the series over the Panthers in a wild and entertaining game that Milwaukee led from the beginning of it. The first 2 batters, a single and a triple, Milwaukee led all the way up until the bottom of the ninth as UNLV takes it. And for the Rebels, their winning pitcher today will be Jacob Gomberg, who out of the pen with 1 inning did not give up a hit. And give credit to UNLV as Gomberg picks up the first win of the season for himself. After Josh Donegan gave up the 5 runs, the bullpen coming in the 2nd inning, they really did a great job of shutting the door down. Evangelista, Ong gave up 2 runs each in the 1 run each in 5 1/3, and then Sunloff and Gomberg were perfect for the Rebels. And if you're Milwaukee, and they spoil a great pitching performance by Riley Peterson, who went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. Aiden Fishnick out of the pen. He went 1 2/3, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. Colin Reel went an inning and a third. He did not give up any runs. But then in the 9th inning, they tried to go to Lucas Watson, who did not get an out. 3 runs credited to him. And for Mason Weckler, he gave up the 2 hits, the home run, and the single, and 1 of those runs will be earned to him. He will pick up the loss and fall to 0-6 on the year. For Milwaukee, they finished with 7 runs off of 11 hits, 1 error. They left 7 runners on the base paths. Grant Ross had the star performance today. He was 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored. All but 1 player had a base hit for the Panthers, but for UNLV, the Rebels finished with 8 runs off 11 hits, 1 error. And Drew Berrigan with the 2 home runs, 5 total RBIs. Reggie Bussey went 2 for 4 on the day. Also, Cooper Chef 2 for 5, the game-winning single. But Jaden Hurdle had a nice game as well, 3 for 4. And Gunnar Myro went 1 for 2. So that will end our broadcast here today from Earl E. Wilson Stadium in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. What a game and what a victory for the Rebels as they take the series against Milwaukee. Walk-off win. The Rebels win it 8-7. They'll be back in action on Tuesday here on the Mountain West. It will be on the Mountain West Network as UNLV takes on BYU. It will be Drew Neverett and Matt Neverett back on the call. What a game, and we want to thank everyone for tuning in on your Sunday afternoon, wherever you've been watching. I'm Wyatt Tomczyk signing off here from Earl E. Wilson Stadium on the YouTube channel provided to us by UNLV Athletics.